going on, everyone? It's episode 187, recorded on Sunday, November 5th, 2023. I'm John, and hey, Drew. A kid named Kevin walks into a brothel dragging a dead frog on a rope. He walks up to the madam and says, "I'd like a lady with VD." The madam is shocked and exclaims, "Boy, this is a clean house. None of our ladies have any venereal diseases." The boy, however, is insistent. "Come on, I'll pay you double the going rate to get a lady with VD, please." The madam thinks for a second and whispers to him, "Okay, fine. Go up to room 254 and Betty will take care of you." The boy, smiling, goes upstairs and enjoys his time with her. Eventually, he comes back down the stairs and is approached by the madam. "I have to ask you, Kevin, why did you want a woman with VD?" He smiles a wicked smile and says, "Well, it's complicated. You see, now that I've fucked her, I have VD. I'm going to go home and have sex with my babysitter, and she'll get VD. Later on, my parents will come home, and my dad will take the babysitter home. He's going to fuck her before he drops her off, so then he'll have VD. Then he'll come home, and he'll have sex with my mom, and she'll get VD. Finally, tomorrow, after my dad goes to work, the mailman will stop by. He'll fuck my mom, then he'll get VD and die. And that's going to be great, because he's the dumb son of a bitch that ran over my frog."
My God. What is up, everybody? On tonight's episode, Halloween Mayhem is wrapped up, and we will do some live judging. Does size matter? Talking about games, of course. And did Nintendo fuck up their release schedule? All of these things we're going to be talking about on tonight's episode. John, Patriots still suck, buddy. How are you doing?
How was that game today?
It was good. I was at the game. It was a beautiful day here in New England. It was like 62 degrees, sunny, just enjoying some football, of a beer and a, chicken tender basket with some fries. Yeah, it was good. It was going to Gillette Stadium is always a fun experience. It's just, unfortunately, we have a shitty team now. We just said this in the pre-show. Me and you have been spoiled for the last 15 years of football, and
20.
Now
you guys have been spoiled for about 20. Well, I guess
2001.
He's been gone for a while, actually. Huh.
True. Well, but now I feel like we're really struggling. But
you are very much struggling.
It's the middle of the season. It's football season, and nothing to look forward to. My betting game is sucked. I lose. I've retired for the rest of the season, and at least fantasy's doing okay. That's about it. Who cares? You think it's time to just let Belichick go at this point and just rebuild? Like, how many years is he going to have left anyway? Just move on. I mean, is Kraft just trying to get him to the top coach and top wins? I don't know. I mean,
is that it?
I guess the question is, excuse me, will he resurface anywhere?
If he's smart, no. But is he on the list of all-time winningest coaches? Oh, look at that.
He's up there. I think he only he's number 2.
He's got 300. He's third place. He's behind Don Shula, 328. So he's got to win 28 more games. That's going to take 4 or 5 years at least. I
think that's what he wants. Did he get 300? Or is he 299?
He's at 300. Yep. I think he just got it. He just got it.
Yeah, last one. I can't remember. They didn't win many times this year, so I lose track.
How old is he? How old do you think he is?
It's like 60-something.
71. There is no fucking way he's going to make 5 more years. Not with this team.
No.
I say just give it up.
How about Kraft? I mean, he's up there too. His son might take over by then. Maybe that's the new era. Let Kraft go, and then
he's the owner. What do you mean let Kraft go?
Let his son. His son already does a lot of it, but Kraft's up there too. I don't know how old he is.
Who's his son? Velveeta? That's great. Cool. That's why we get the 5-star reviews.
That's right.
So Cedric is going on a trip in 8 hours.
Another school trip?
Yeah, school trip.
Wow, good
Michelle's taking him to the airport at 2 a.m.
Stop.
And he's going to be gone till Friday night.
Where's he going? Anywhere fun?
He's going to Cali. He's doing.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, he's doing a marine biology kind of class trip thing. So
I'm jealous of your kids in their school. Because your kids are also the perfect age for this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like traveling and doing this outdoorsy and.
Yeah, it's a hands-on school. It's like they get to do these really cool trips and I have to fucking pay for it. It's they get to go to Cali.
That's a good point.
Sebastian is going to Belize.
Excuse me?
In January.
I'm not even sure I know where the fuck that is.
It's a country. I know it's a country.
If you gave me a map, I don't think I could come within like a few 1,000-mile radius of where that is.
Yeah. It's crazy. So it's like I have never really left the country. I've been to like the Bahamas. That is me leaving the country
Bahamas,
on a
Canada, cruise. Yeah, I'm the same boat as you.
Yeah, and he gets to go to Belize, and I have to pay for him to go. That doesn't seem fair.
International travel nowadays.
Yeah. But the big highlight, clearly, of my last 2 weeks was last night. Me, Dylan, Bird Fuel on the Discord, and the Coos, Bob Cousy, met up with some friends, and we had a little WarioWare party last night at Dylan's house. It was great. First time I've seen Dylan's house.
Yeah? How was the setup? Was it good for WarioWare?
Yeah, it was good.
Nice.
And the fun part was I could see them in the window, and when I parked outside,
okay,
like I could literally, because you're not, sometimes you're not sure where somebody lives. Like, okay, I have the number, this is it, but I don't want to knock on some stranger's door.
Yeah, but there's like no blinds or anything.
I could see them playing WarioWare in the window from the street.
That's definitely the house.
Yeah. Cool. Oh no, we had a lot of fun. He made a pulled pork. He threw it on the smoker in the morning. And it was good.
Was Dylan?
This is Dylan, yeah.
Well, we know Coos makes a good pulled pork as well.
I mean, like
smoked items. Yeah.
It was. I mean, it was, and the best part is like as I'm going through the pulled pork, there's like the burnt ends, and I'm like, oh, I can just have these burnt ends. I don't have to like pay more for it. I'm just gonna take them.
First come, first serve.
We had chips, drinks. I mean, like it was a good time. We played some WarioWare. I had all the kids. And we played, what did we play? I got Trombone Champ going.
Oh my God, John.
And because they were talking about the sensor, Dylan was mentioning the sensor on the Joy-Con. And I said, oh yeah, Trombone Champ uses it. You want to play? And he's like, well, maybe I'll buy it someday. And I was like, no, I have it. So we played that. And then at some point, Cedric and Melody started playing Untitled Goose Game together.
Okay.
And just running around like in a sandbox, honking and stealing things. It was pretty funny.
Jeez.
And then you've never played what, Untitled Goose Game?
Yeah.
You've never played Untitled Goose Game?
Nope.
Are you insane?
No. Have you ever played Pine?
Dude, no, don't. No. Dude, I think we just found your playing game. You have to get Untitled Goose Game. And you can play a co-op now, and it is freaking hilarious.
I should play with one of my kids, to be honest.
You should play Untitled Goose Game. It's so good.
That'd be a fun playing game, like putting the Switch kit stand up and playing on the plane. So it's not like you need anything complicated.
Right. Yeah, you can play a co-op. You can play it by yourself. It's hilarious. It's fun. It's intuitive. It's probably even cheaper now than it was.
Did they ever make a sequel, or were they supposed to?
No, they added the co-op mode, but they didn't really add any new levels or anything. But it's a whole new experience when you play 2-player. So. It's okay. But yeah, no, we played that, and then we played some Jackbox, and that was fun.
Classic.
Yep. And came home pretty late, and like so for the time change, I woke up and I didn't even wake up early. In fact, I woke up late this morning. So that's how you beat the time change. Just like party.
It's like party and double dip.
Yeah.
Nice. So, that's sweet.
So good time.
Funny you mentioned WarioWare, because I think if you remember correctly, and we'll talk about it more in depth later, I said I think I'm skipping WarioWare this year. And then what happened, John? I sent you a screenshot yesterday with the game, and I picked up myself some nice Mario coin lights for my Nintendo Christmas tree. Mm-hmm. And then today I had to go out When they did my nephew a little something, and I got him something, and then of course I had to go, look for myself, and I always wanted the giant cheap plushie. You've
Mhm.
seen them. Best Buy has them. I grabbed that for myself, as well as I saw on display they had the Piranha Plant Lego. I think it actually doesn't even come out until Monday, so I don't know if somebody dropped the ball there, but I seized the moment, seized the opportunity, and I grabbed it. So
Very nice.
be building that one this week, possibly, and put it with my other Nintendo Legos on display.
There you go.
So, yeah, that's it. Busy weekend for me. I have not had a lot of time to relax or play games in the last week, but I played a few. We'll talk about them later. But it's just mayhem. Leaves are falling. You're getting snow. I had to do yard work and start packing for vacation coming up, and it's just like one thing after another. So that's it. That's all I got.
Well, go get that goose game.
All right, I will. Well, John, hockey season is back, and we're gearing up for some ice action. But before you hit the rink, make sure you look ready with the real all-star of the lead, the Handyman by Manscaped. The dual action foil shaver is your ultimate power play against unruly facial hair. It will have your face as smooth as freshly Zambonied ice. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code NINDADS, NINDADS, at manscaped.com. Again, that's 20% off and free shipping with the code NINDADS, NINDADS, at manscaped.com. Speaking of hockey, John, I was in the ice rink again Friday night. Back at it, baby. Unretired. But yeah, go. This is the time of the year to go get your stuff. Get some, we talked about it, your father-in-law, maybe your brother-in-law, your brother, your sister, your wife. Get them some Manscaped stuff. Now, stock up now. You get the reusables. You got to get your shampoo. You got to get your body wash, razors, all that good stuff. Head over there. Use the code.
Manscape. Manscape. That's my song contribution. All right. Let's talk about what we've been playing. And I guess the first game we should both talk about is the new WarioWare Move It game. Came out on Friday. Wow, 2 days ago already. And what has your experience been with it? I will say that I walked into it. I haven't played my copy yet. Okay. I walked into it at the party. Previously that day, Dylan had unlocked a lot of the campaign, but I was able to play a little bit of the campaign from time to time. And then we played, I think, all of the party mode games. I had a lot of fun with it, but I don't know if you had so much fun with it. What happened with you there?
Yeah, so we started off actually because all four of us wanted to play. We start off with the 4-player co-op mode. When you go there, there's 4 options you can choose from off the start. Some of them from the first one was actually like a board game style, and it was just you play a mini game. You know, based on which place you come in, you get points, and then you roll the dice. The winner would roll the dice, and then stuff would happen depending on the space you landed on. So we played through all 4 of those options. Some of them were fun, some of them were fine, some of them were short mini games, some were like extended, longer mini games. So here's my problem with this, John, and I said it before, right? I didn't even want to buy this game because the whole mentality of it, move it, is just not what I want to do in today's world when I play video games. I want to relax. I want to sit on the couch. And this is the complete opposite. Fully on the floor, being engaged with these poses, right? 2 things, really, that I'm going to hit on. The first one, I had so many issues with the controls, right? So they tell you the pose, right? This is the pose you're going to be doing. And then it's like you do it, but if you don't do it fast enough, I feel like it locks in. There's no screen beforehand that's like, it should say like calibrated, or it should say like lock it in now. Because if you're moving during that, like now when the game starts, it's starting and my controls are all wonky. Like for example, if I'm just going to do simple, let me say pointing at the TV with my Joy-Con, like I have to point like 10 feet to the right of the TV because it wasn't calibrated correctly. Now, just think of that when you're trying to do all these other weird poses. I just feel like it was never calibrated correctly for any of my mini games. Like you need to be perfectly still and not move from like the directions all the way to the start of the game. I don't know, and I just not what I want. My second big problem is, when did everybody 1-2 Switch come out? June, July?
Oh gosh, yeah, maybe around
This
then,
year. A few
maybe a little earlier.
months ago, right? Same year, 6 months. Let's just say 6 months. John, when I say they ripped off like exactly the same games, they did. And it's almost embarrassing for Nintendo, to be honest. There's a legit mini game called like Medusa something, where it's Medusa and she has her bat turned to you and she turns around, and if she sees you, you turn to stone. But when she turns back around, you have to run in place to get closer to her. Like it's legit the same mini game from everybody 1-2 Switch. And they did that.
Yeah,
But John, there's a few of them. It's not just that one.
but
There's a
that one
lot
is
of them.
the structure of a game where you actually have to play mini games to sort of advance to.
Sure. In between Medusa, you're playing mini games. But I guess my point is the game feels almost identical to everybody 1-2 Switch in my eyes, right? I just find it hard when if you wanted to do the everybody 1-2 Switch and a WarioWare, you got to go with a different gimmick. You can't pit the same gimmick for two different franchise games that are coming out within 6 months of each other. To me, it doesn't work. It's too closely related to it. I mean, besides that, we did go play the story mode for about an hour or two. We played the co-op one. There were some cool new features I liked about that, where in the co-op mode, story mode, it's the normal WarioWare story mode that you know, but with two players, it kind of rotates every back and forth, right? So if you go, but the cool part is if you fail at a task, usually you lose like a garlic or you lose a battery or you whatever it is, it says like tagging a player in, and the second player now gets to try to complete it without losing it, like a life.
I see.
So that I thought that was pretty nifty, but it's the same thing. It's the same Wario stuff. I really struggled with the calibration of the controllers. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, were you just not ready when it started? Because I think it calibrates when you do the pose right before the game starts. It calibrates from where you are. Are you just not like ready? Are you drinking while you're playing? What's going on?
I don't know what it was, but I think also there's a lot of the poses, like you're like the tug of war pose, or like you're holding it like a sword, like a knight, or you're the big cheese and you're putting them on your hips. And it sometimes is like, well, which way is the Joy-Con facing? Because is it out or is it in? And it's just like, if it's not exactly the way you want it to be, well, it's all fucked up.
They show you how to hold it. You're not supposed to like change that position at all.
Agreed. I get that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think I just hate fucking motion controls to begin with. And now the fact that when I did try, the exact thing that I hate was happening, and it was not calibrating to the way I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And I don't know, very frustrating with it. And
I didn't have
that's the reason why I didn't want it. This is exactly why I did not want to get this game. I honestly have no interest in playing this game anymore. I just don't. It's not. I knew this was going to happen.
Then why did you buy it?
Because I was a spur of the moment thing, and I was a jackass, and I'm a Nintendo fan, and I saw it, and I bought. You know what? I knew it wasn't meant to be, because I was at Walmart doing some shopping. I said, "Let me go look in the Nintendo section," and I looked in there, and it was sold out at Walmart. So right, the same plaza at Walmart, there's a GameStop that you drive by when I leave. I said, fuck, let me hop in GameStop. Why? I don't know why, but I hopped in. Oh, you got any copies of? Oh, yeah, we did WarioWare, and that's when I bought my little coin light, and I bought WarioWare, and I spent $70 and shit I didn't need. And here we are, me venting about it when I said I didn't want to get it to begin with. So I don't know. It's WarioWare,
I feel like you're being a little negative. Some bad reviews here now,
and I think this kind of turns into a bigger picture, and it will lead into a little bit of conversation maybe later. But the life
have it now.
Let's do this, because the life of the Switch now is getting long, right?
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Wait. Okay, where are we going with this now?
I just feel like we're getting the same shit on repeat. It's getting old. It's getting old, John.
I loved WarioWare Move It. It is It is what Smooth Moves was. If you ask me what the best game on the Wii was, I always say WarioWare Smooth Moves, because I love the style of we're gonna teach you these forms. You always start in this position, and the
Mhm.
game can be anything, and you have to figure out what to do. I like this sort of format. And so I was excited to see it. Now, I haven't played through the campaign, but there were times when I did play certain levels. I had to play the 8-volt levels last night
Yep.
because I love the 8-volt stuff. And I love it. I like being told the form. I didn't have any control issues that you had. You might want to check your Joy-Cons, or I feel like maybe you're just not getting in position quick enough. But
Maybe.
I mean, I had a ton of fun. The multiplayer games, there was 4 of them, which is weird because it seems like a low number, but at the same
Yeah.
time, having like 20 isn't really of value either.
No, but that last one we played during Extra Life had a ton of short, easy ones. These ones that seem like a
Exactly.
little bit longer.
Yeah.
I just
These
I
all
don't know.
had real WarioWare micro games. The ones in the other game were almost like little video games.
Kind
So
of like when Mario
wasn't the
Party does
same.
that. Yeah, I know what you're
Yeah.
saying. Yep.
Yeah. I enjoyed them. I mean, the games had that Mario Party feel where they could be unfair, and like the winner may not be the best player, but that's what makes it fun. I really enjoyed it. I do know, like, I feel like these days, when the last WarioWare came out on Switch, I was like, oh, I'm going to play the crap out of it and play it weekly. And then I didn't. But I did go through and do everything that I could in the game and then never went back to it. So I don't know what'll happen with this game. Maybe I'll go for some high scores for a little bit, but that's it. But I really enjoyed it. I liked all the little mini games. The one where you're Link, where you're the chicken running from Link, I think was
I did see
hilarious.
that one. I mean, don't be wrong. I played them. I laughed. We laughed with the family. You know, we yelled. We screamed. We had some fun. Don't get me wrong. It just felt like literally I was playing Everybody 1-2 Switch. Maybe a little bit more polished, but it's the same thing with like hold the pose and do this thing. Like that's exactly what 1-2 Switch was.
Yep. Yeah.
So it just
I
seems
enjoyed it
odd
for
to
what
me
it
that it
was.
went the same choice. And I guess maybe I never thought about that until this moment, until I played it. But I was like, wow, these are a lot of the same things, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's WarioWare. Not to sound negative. If you liked WarioWare, it's an updated, polished version of it. I guess it's fine. But for me, it didn't feel like anything more than just another game out there.
Yeah. I mean,
What else have you been playing?
I finished off Spider-Man. When did Spider-Man come out? When did it come out? That was October
Same day as
20th.
Wonder.
Yeah.
21st?
I mean, yeah, I guess I really haven't talked much about Spider-Man on this show, right?
No, we
I probably had just started
we
playing
talked about it maybe. Did we talk about it last week? I know we did that extra episode.
Yeah,
I don't
because
know if
our
we did.
last God, it's so weird. Time is weird. Well,
We did last 2 weeks. We did episodes.
yeah, but I didn't talk too much about Spider-Man. But yeah. Spider-Man 2 was fantastic. It's instantly one of the best games on the PS5. And I mean, those 3 games, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Spider-Man 2, they're also fantastic. But Spider-Man 2 blows me away because you control both Peter Parker and Miles Morales. And the game starts off in a scenario where you're both together and you both spring into action. And what a cool way they did it. The music in that sequence is so much fun. And then from there on out, you can sort of switch between them. So for most of the game, you're like, you want to be Peter Parker, you can be Peter Parker. You can switch back and forth. There are some quests you have to do as one of the Spider-Mans. And if you go to the quest area, it'll say, you need to be Peter Parker. Do you want to switch? And you go, yeah. And then it leads you in. So it's not annoying. It's not like you get there and they're like, nope, you can't be this guy. It's all very smooth. And then for all the optional stuff, you can be anybody you want. So if you love Miles Morales more than Peter Parker, you can play 80% of the game as Miles Morales. Just fantastic. 100%ed it. And the funny part is Cedric has been playing the game because it's only PS5. So he'll come down to my room and play. And early on, I would be like, I can't watch you. We can't watch each other. We're getting spoilers. So I would leave the room or whatever. And then once I finished the game, then he could come in and like, it didn't matter so much. but he just 100%ed it. He finished it yesterday. So I'm pretty proud that we both did it in a fairly short amount of time. But it goes to show you how incredible that game is. It's definitely one of the best games of the year. I give it a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
And it's just a must play if you have a PS5. Just absolute must play. I so good. And what a great story too. Usually these superhero games, the stories are just weird and there's some villain and you just go out and you track them down and whatever. But the whole Venom thing was played so well, and there's so many just plot twists and man, so freaking good.
Nice.
Thoroughly enjoyed Spider-Man 2. And then I just finished Jusant. Do you remember Jusant? That was the rock climbing game. I think they first announced it at the Xbox showcase this summer. I'd actually missed it. And I think it was Hambone Johnny had said, "Oh, like don't nod." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "Oh," because I had seen the game, but I didn't realize it was Don't Nod. And yeah, so
I see the characters and kind of see the resemblance.
It's a pretty little game. It's about rock climbing. It's from one of my favorite developers of all time. And I bought it on day one, and I was playing through it. It's like a chapter-based game. I was doing one chapter a day. And honestly, by yesterday, I wasn't really loving it. And it was hard to put into words, but Don't Nod. They're the Life is Strange people. Like, I was expecting this game to have a story that they didn't tell us about. And they didn't. It's a rock climbing game.
What's this cute little guy that's on your shoulder?
Yeah, you have a cute little companion, and you're this like teenage dude, maybe, and yeah, like it never really got into a story mode, and that's what Don't Nod does so well. So I was really disappointed as we were going, but the last couple chapters were a lot more fun, and I got to see kind of the ending and the story wrap up. So there wasn't much story there at all. In the end, I'm a little disappointed that it didn't have that kind of story, but in terms of the rock climbing stuff, it was fun. There's like, when you're playing an adventure game and you're like going in a direction, but then there's like a second place you can go, and then there's a hallway off that one, and
you like get overwhelmed. Like, which one do I go down? Yeah.
Right. And you find secrets, and maybe you find a power up, and like this and that. Metroid Dread, like that sort of stuff. This game has that, but the only problem is if you find a hallway and you go down and you find a little hidden area, you don't really get much for it. You get like a letter, you get like a mural, and that's it. It doesn't reward you for the exploration. I think that's where the game kind of goes wrong. So I'll probably go back to it and try to do some completion stuff with it, get all the items, but I'm not super excited to do that. So hopefully they make it decently fun, but that's what I played on PS5. On Switch, I'm finally playing South Park: The Stick of Truth. I think I bought this game 2 or 3 years ago. It was on a super sale. I played the second game in that South Park RPG, the fractured butthole, and I loved it. I was like, "This is great." It's like you're in an episode of South Park, and I'm not even like, I find South Park funny, but I don't really watch it. This is the first game, and I don't know. I kept putting it off. But every time I don't have a game to play on Switch, the first game I think of I should play is South Park. And then inevitably I find something else. And I'm literally playing this just because I'm a little sick of thinking about South Park every time I need a game to play. So I'm like, I'm just going to freaking play this and get it done. And I'm enjoying it. Their RPGs are really good. If you like RPGs that are pretty straightforward, and by that, I mean, let's say you have a weapon and it does 10 damage. You find a better weapon. It does 15 damage. You feel more powerful. The weapon doesn't say, oh, it does fire damage. Oh, this is if you're holding this, you get +2 armor. Like, you don't have to think about all the different weapons and which might be better for a situation. There is literally just a better weapon. Equip it. You're good to go. You can sell the old one. You'll never need it again. There's no value to it.
Makes it simple. Love it.
I kind of like RPGs like that.
Yeah.
It's funny as hell, and it's cute, and it's very clever. It's like they're basically like all these kids in the neighborhood are just doing D&D. You use farts for explosions and stuff like that. It's the funniest part is Cartman calls me douchebag. You know when you play like a game and you put in your name, but the game can't pronounce your name, so they just say they'll call you something like peasant or whatever. And so when I filled in my name Zablanc, and I hit return, and Cartman goes, "Oh, your name is douchebag?" You're like, "Are you sure you want to go with the name douchebag?" And you're like, "Yes." And he's like, "Okay, douchebag." At some point later in the game, you level up and he goes, "Ooh, you've graduated to Sir Douchebag." Oh, and there's this like dumb animation that appears, and it's like, it's such a good time. So I'm really enjoying that.
That's fun.
And then the last game I played was this game called Gordian Quest. Me and Tim might be the only people on the planet playing this game. He did it on his Extra Life. Yeah. I'm much further along than he is. It is like, imagine Slay the Spire, but there is a roguelike mode in this game, but the main mode is a campaign. Imagine Slay the Spire, but you have a party of 3 characters. They can have different character classes, not unlike Slay the Spire. So they have different cards, but each character can have 4 different specializations, which basically means what is their starter set.
Okay.
And so you can start off with like a cleric, and you can start off with a warrior, and you can start off with a ranger and that sort of thing. And then you can figure out what kind of starter sets that you want to have, and you can try to synergize them if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine that there's a hub town you go to, you can sell things, buy things. You wear armor, you get weapons, and these augment your cards. So like if you have a stronger weapon, your attack on your cards will go up. So when you attack with a card, your current equipment also factors in to it.
Okay.
And yeah, and it's a campaign. So if you die, you can resurrect your person, you can keep going. There's quests and side quests and things you have to do. So
what happens like if all your people die, are you done or no?
Well, when you die, you can pay like 20 gold and resurrect your character. You can also recruit new characters. In fact, Tim had to do that because he lost 2 of his characters and had no money.
Okay.
He died broke. So he recruited some characters to continue on. But yeah, at any time you could recruit characters and then you can just swap them in and out. I think it pays to just pick 3 characters and just go with them because your leveling up won't go to the people who are not in your party.
Mm-hmm.
So the best way to play this game is to just pick 3 people, play through it, and then, you can do another campaign and pick 3 different people and see how they work. That's it. It's really long. So there's 4 acts in the game. I finished the first act. It took me 8 hours.
Oh, Jesus.
And that involved me doing lots of extra fights because at times it gets confusing what on earth. They're like, you need to search for this rock, and they kind of tell you where to go, but you do a bunch of fights till you come across it.
Yeah.
But I definitely did a lot more fights than I had to. 8 hours. I had to do 81 battles to get past Act 1.
Oh, my God.
That would take me not even 10 minutes in Slay the Spire. So I think the biggest problem with the game is it just goes too long. It's also not... What's the word? When you play Slay the Spire, it almost feels so perfect in that you get in these situations where you are 1 turn from death and you pull it out. That's what makes it really fun. God, in this game, after like an hour, I was just almost on autopilot doing these battles. Boom, 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 boom. I was barely cared about
battles
defense.
or no?
They are, yes, they can be fairly quick battles because you barely have to pay any attention. I never used guard, like defense cards, unless I had no attack cards. And then it'd be like, okay, defense. It was just attack. And then you can do so many more battles than you need to, so you can really kind of over level yourself and make it a lot easier. There's also a skill tree. So when you level up, you get a skill point, and then you can use that to give yourself more health and that sort of thing. So, essentially it's like a Slay the Spire game, but you have a party that you maintain and RPG elements. The downside to this game is the UI is infuriating. It is so hard to manage things. There's some bugs in the UI. There are some screens you can get stuck in and you have to like restart the game. They make you use the minus button to go through tabs. It is like the UI is insane. And, you know, you'll get some armor and get some swords and you don't even want to like equip anything because you're like, I have to deal with the freaking menus of this game. I really hope they fix it. It's just not a great translation to console. And then, like I said, you know, the battles are not always that dynamic. It's just really like you just kind of overwhelm them. And I rarely had any problems with any battles. I got to Act 2 and it was just like, I don't know if I want to continue with this or not. So I kind of saved it and put it down. But it actually has seeped into me. And I think what I'm going to do is just start another campaign. I want to pick, I kind of picked just characters I thought looked cool. I want to get some characters that maybe synergize a little bit better. I've learned a lot about the game. I want to start all over and I want to really think about my deck and how I'm going to do it. It just took me so long to learn the mechanics of the game. I want to get a fresh start on it. So I think I will start a new campaign after South Park is done and see what happens. I'll probably have the same complaints, but I don't know. I just want to play with it again for a little bit. Yeah. So nice. Like I said, it's got some problems, but it was not bad. And it's from a review copy. I did a video for the Nintendo dads. Mm-hmm. So I'm enjoying it. Nice. That's what I've been playing. How about you?
I don't know if I told you the last time. So Dwerve, remember, I think the last time we chatted on the podcast was I was stuck at the final boss, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I did go on to beat the final boss, John, the bastard. I just kept going with the same strategy and just found that every time I was getting a little bit further and further. So I just said, let me just keep going with it. I finally beat the guy, and that was the final boss. I rolled credits on it. That was fun. And then I remembered I went back to the main menu. They have a tower defense mode, right? So this is your classic now tower defense game where it's just one level, predefined level, where you have, you know, the little huts where the guys are going to come out and you have to protect your base. You have, 10 hearts, and you can't let 10 enemies reach your base. So I did that. I played some of those levels. There's actually 30 levels and you can get different stars based on if you lose health in their base or not. I did about like 18 of them. And then I just kind of fell off of it. But
yeah, a lot.
It's another option. The game that keeps on giving. And then, of course, I've been playing Super Mario Wonder, John. And you motivated me the other day because you said I'm not the same Drew that I used to be, where I used to just come out and dominate games and be done in no time. So I did. I came out and I finally dominated it. And I have now since 100% completed it.
Very nice.
I got, every coin, every seed, every extra level, every flagpole, you name it, even every standee.
The standees are just nuts. I mean, you just keep buying standees and
but at a certain point, you go to the shop and then you can buy the ones that guarantees you a new one.
No, really? Where? What shop?
Are you kidding me?
I don't know about that shop. I was just buying standees.
Is it? I don't think it's too early, or it's not a spoiler. The special.
No, there's no spoilers left.
The special world. If you go to the shop, it costs 30 coins instead of 10.
Really?
But it guarantees it's one you don't have.
Wow.
I was just buying. How'd you get all of them?
I was just buying the 10 coin standees. I mean, like, I'm trying to get all the purple coins, and I played through that last level forever. Mm-hmm. I got so many purple coins, and I just kept buying. I was having fun with it, too. I was like, Toad has 2 more to go. He's going to beat Peach,
But I eventually just got 30 tries to get it.
Yeah, it would take a lot of tries, especially towards the end, but I eventually got it I got it before I finished the game, so whatever.
Without going to that shop and just getting it one try.
Yeah. If I had to play the game an extra 5 hours to get enough money to just eventually get the standees, I would have been pissed off right now. But I didn't know about that.
Yeah, well, that's there for those folks that are trying to collect all the standees. Go to the shop in the special world. They're 30 instead of 10, but it guarantees you a brand new one. So I played the last level, just like you said last time. Very cool, very pain in the butt. And it's just one of those things in life where you just keep repetitiveness and you're like, this wasn't that hard. Like, how'd I get there before? So I beat it. I finally beat it, and I'm just so excited at the end that I missed the flagpole, John. So I had to go beat it again. There's no like going back to there's nothing. You have to play the whole level again.
It's really hard to beat it after you beat it. I mean, you just need some time
But
to recover and whatever. But after about an hour, I think you can go back and beat it again.
I beat it again within probably like maybe 30 minutes. I beat it. I beat it a lot. It took me 30 minutes, but I beat it.
Well, you're younger than me.
So I have something to say about Mario Wonder. Like, what developer at Nintendo sat there? Because I'm going to tell you right now, this is by far the worst thing that Mario has ever done in the history of Mario. The fucking invisible badge can literally eat the shit coming out of my anus. Like that, like why? That last part of that level, again,
it's so hard.
It's not even hard, John. It's just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like why would I want to play a platformer game, when I literally can't see my character?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's how is that enjoyable for anybody?
If I could be game designer for a day and work on that level, and what Drew's talking about is the final level of Mario, and fast forward 15 seconds if you don't want to know what it is. Okay. Is like, I don't know, there's like 10 subsections where every subsection they give you a different badge and you have to get through it. And it's a hard little section and you have a different badge. So that's heavy to go through. And the final one, you have to be invisible Mario.
It's stupid.
And there were these save points in it, right?
Correct, but
every three sections. Yeah, every three. And then at the end, when you finally get past that third one, there's one more. And it's invisible Mario. And it was so hard because you don't know where you are. And they make you do probably something that's hard to do, even if you could see Mario jumping on these little floaty guys.
Yep.
And then you would die, and then you'd have to go and do the 3 levels again. And after a while, they became easy. Like, just,
They did, but that part was just dumb.
Yeah, it was. If I could be the designer, I would have put the invisible Mario section earlier.
Correct. Agreed.
Not make it as hard, and then end it on a more fun section, maybe even a harder section, but like something where I can see my character and I have to use my skill. It was almost like I would jump and I'd hold the jump button and just hope that I hit the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And bounce the cloud. You can kind of see where you are by the clouds.
That's what they tried to make it like an artsy thing so you can see it. But man, it's just the dumbest badge. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
Or like give it like you can see a shadow or you can see something. I am going to give you a little hint though, cheat sheet. I thought of it after. I'm not going to lie. I used it the second time we played. If you play co-op, one person always has the crown. And the crown stays.
Oh, so you see the crown.
You see the crown. So you literally are playing with a crown.
Yeah, you can also use the X button to like send a message and it'll show it.
But you can't do it while like you're like constantly doing it. You can stop and do it, right?
If you're holding the speed button down, you can't do it. But like what happens is I would jump, I would bounce off something, and then I'd tap X a few times in the air just to see myself.
Okay.
One time I recorded on the screen where Mario was when you're going forward on the screen. And I put my remote control under my TV so I could see that spot on the TV. It didn't really help, but just trying to do anything to do it. But I like that. I like that co-op idea.
The co-op's idea. Yeah, I mean, the other thing too, the co-op is you could use like a Yoshi or a Nabbit because they can't die. So like there's certain parts like the fire and stuff that you could just run through it and you're not dying. I mean, there's a lot of gaps and stuff that it's not going to work, but
some of the fun of Invisible Mario is like enemies can't see you.
Yeah.
And so people have been playing through sections of the game as Invisible Mario to see what would happen.
Okay.
If you're Invisible Mario, and if somebody like actually got to the final fight, but Bowser basically just says, "I see you," so
really?
You can't get out of it, but. Yeah, there's some like enemies that just don't see you at all, and
Yeah, I
but
guess
it's
that
not worth it. It's too hard.
since we're on the topic too, I'll say, I mean, the end boss battle was it was fun, it was cool, but like underwhelming, to be honest. And I'm not trying to say negative because I love this whole game, right? But you play some of the past Mario games. What was the one where you fight them like on the train and stuff like that? Like
Yeah.
there's like multiple parts, and I just feel like that can't be like the end. Like there's got to be like something after this. But it just
Yeah, but
kind of
those are the
was just
3D Mario games too, so it's just
no,
easier to
no,
be more expressive. If you think about compare it to the 2D, like Super Mario 2, right? And it's not even really Mario, but
of
you have to
course.
get all the musical notes against Wart or whatever it
Yep.
is. What is the end of world? I can't really remember. I think it's when he's like destroying. Is that the one where he's destroying
The
the
Brits? No, I
land?
think that's three.
Oh,
Three's
that's
the one
three.
with the
Okay.
Brits, and you have to keep getting him until he goes down the floor.
Okay.
I forget what world is too.
They're
No,
all a
I mean I
little
get it. I
underwhelming.
just thought it'd be more elaborate, like a little bit phased out. I don't know. Again, I'm not that I'm disappointed. I think then again that's one of our topics. We don't get into more about the length and all that other stuff either. At the end of the day, still a fantastic new twist on Mario. Really, really enjoyed it. Really quick, now that I just thought of it, now that we have this new voice for Nintendo, did WarioWare stick out to you at all?
I didn't really think about is Charles Martinet the voice of Wario
It's
or
not.
what?
It's the new kid. But
Oh, it is the
I
new guy.
guess
Okay.
when you start the story mode, right? There's like that 2 to 4 minute, backstory and intro, and Wario actually talks quite a bit.
Oh, okay.
So I'll just table it, but I'll be interested to see what your thoughts are on it.
I do hope to get
Because
through the campaign this week. Yeah.
you can definitely tell it's a different voice.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting your thoughts. Because Wario's hard, right? I mean, when you play Mario, it's just,
Yeah.
well, Mario's just grunts, but Wario is a character that talks.
He does
and put
talk a
like
little bit.
sentences together, so
Mhm.
it's a little bit more noticeable, I guess, is my point. But yeah, anywho,
Okay.
that's what I've been playing. Wrapping up. Now we need a new game, and we'll see.
Honk honk. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think we've had a fun time.
Yeah.
I think we've played some good games. All right, well, let's get to the show here. As we start off, a little reminder: I did 2 first looks over the last couple weeks. I did Gordian Quest first look, and I did a Maniko's Night Market first look. Not a first look I expected to do because the game came out a little while ago, but I was able to do a first look on that one. I can give a quick synopsis that Gordian Quest is fun. It has a frustrating UI, but once you figure it out, you just kind of deal with it. Maniko's Night Market looks like it could be a fun game, but it does have some performance and loading issues on the Switch. I would definitely recommend, if you really want to get into this, maybe wait and see if they clean up some of it. I've heard the Xbox and PlayStation versions don't have the same issues. I assume it's on PlayStation, actually. I know it's on Xbox because it's on Game Pass. So if you have the choice, I would say play it on Xbox because some of these issues, but I'm hoping that they patch it. Michelle is actually playing it now, so I'm curious to see. But she's noticed some of those issues too.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically when the game is loading, like in between when you go in and out of a building and it loads, the music will like cut in and out
that's
because
annoying.
it's loading and it's like, come on. But yeah, looks like it could be a charming game as well.
Huh.
But with that, we've got some monthly
Mayhem.
Got some judging to do. Halloween Mayhem is over. Drew, are we ready to judge?
We are. And I gotta say, thank you, because you guys did not disappoint. I think we were both a little nervous, John, right? There was a lot of
You were nervous.
nothingness, right? And I knew that all the stuff's gonna come right on Halloween. And you guys delivered. You guys delivered quite a few things.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna be honest. I did not go pull the PDF like I've done in the past and put all these PDF files or PowerPoint files together so we could view them all. Yeah, you're right. Who cares? Because I wanted it to be more well, to be honest, there's a lot of videos and a lot of other stuff that I couldn't put into a PowerPoint. So I'm gonna pull up.
First picture.
So what are you doing here? Are we gonna? I'm pulling up the Halloween Mayhem channel. Is that what you're doing? Are we gonna scroll to the top?
Yep. Scroll to the top, and we start with Tim with a picture of an Elvira GIF. Now, I don't know if all of these are entries or not. Let's just go through and enjoy whatever.
Yep, and we'll talk about the ones
we'll take
that
a
are.
list. Yeah, I don't think an Elvira GIF is going to get it done anyway. But
Did we had your skeleton dude there, the Bronco guy?
Yeah. So I'll keep notes as we go though. Anything that you think is a contender,
okay,
just point it out. There's a lot of stuff here that's just fun, just for fun or whatever, but we have a certain idea of what we're looking for.
Yeah, we'll just mention stuff. I do want to mention Solo. Watch Trick or Treat. Love that movie. We talked about that quite a bit.
Oh yeah. I enjoyed that.
We got Darth Platypus here saying that he never played Luigi's Mansion, and I love the effort of him now taking a picture with the game and adding the Luigi hat to it.
That's right.
Respect. It looks like he's wearing a hockey jersey or something.
Weird that he hasn't played any of the Luigi's Mansions. But I hope he had a good time. I'm not sure if there was a follow up there. But...
Me either. We'll find out. But if there wasn't, let us know, Darth. How did it go? If you're still playing, or what did you do? By the way, I posted the trailer for Totally Killer, John. You need to watch that movie this week.
I still haven't seen it. I'm gonna watch it this week.
I really enjoyed it. It's not like this fantastic movie, but it's cool, it's clever, it's different. I enjoyed it. So Totally Killer.
I love the girl from Mad Men because she's all grown up now.
Yes.
And it's just cool to see. And like for some reason, her eyes are just so judgmental. Just remember Mad Men. It's just so funny.
If that's on Prime Video, if anybody wants to watch it, it's a thrasher type, scream type feel movie, but it involves like time travel a little bit. And it's not like super sci-fi at all, but they actually made a lot of like Back to the Future references. It's funny.
Okay.
Give it a watch. All right, what's next? What do we got?
We got Rizzle with. Is this not a Scream? Is this picture of Ghostface?
It's a ghost face, but it's not from any of the movies. It's just a ghost face of some very big-titted woman in a pink ghost-faced outfit.
Okay. Is that a very scientific term? Big-titted?
Big-titted. It's like...
It's like funny because I was like, is that in the movies? Because I need to watch. We got Solo something. He goes by Solo now. I guess.
I like that.
Yeah. I guess I gotta get that out of my vocal muscle memory here. Just Solo. Just so it's Eston.
Yeah.
Making some cookies.
They're a little heavy on some of those early ones I see there.
Yeah.
A lot of
kids,
I'll take those
kids
ones.
will always like overdo it on something they're making because that's the one they're gonna have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then you have beautiful family hair.
Ah, that feels like forever ago. The
on a little pumpkin patch ride. That thing looks like a bumpy ride.
It was a bumpy ride. I didn't ride it, but I could see it.
I could tell.
Solo's got son's trying to costume. What is the name of that character from the Star Wars with the red eyes? I can't even remember.
That's oh my god, it's the
They were in The Mandalorian.
I know what they're
I'm looking it up while you try to think about it.
No, I just
Jawa.
Jawas. I knew the Jawas. I was thinking sand people, but I know they're not sand people. They're the Jawas.
Jawas.
The guy that drives the sand crawlers and they steal all the little parts.
Yep. It's really creepy because in the pictures that like
but he's
you don't
not
really
a Jawa. Let's be clear, he's not a Jawa.
Oh, is he not? Oh, he's got like a scythe.
No, he's like a Grim Reaper guy.
Oh, okay. Well, he looks like a Jawa with the eyes. Maybe they are. Maybe that's what they are.
Well, Jawa's a brown hood. I mean, he could have been, but he's not.
I mean, his sun is like so dark. Like you can't even see where the mask is or the outfit. It is just black. It looks like it's drawn. Very, very creepy.
We should probably be writing down these people's names, John, so we can get
I'm not going to write down everybody, but if I feel
but if you did a submission, we need to know for the random drawing.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put Solo on the list. I think this is a contender. I think it's a really cool costume.
But you did put everyone else is my point. That has submitted everybody that submitted something because they go into the random entry.
Oh, that's true. Well, we'll do that later.
Put Darth Platypus.
Okay, you continue on. I will back reference all the eligible people.
Okay. I'm going to continue on. Next is Ryan Navno. He's been posting a little bit here and there. I don't know, probably Ryan. I don't know. I should try Ryan because Navno, I'm not sure of the history around it. He posted he went to this local pumpkin patch and somebody made some Luigi and Mario scarecrows, and it looks like they're coming out of tire pipes. Well, pipes made out of tires. Kind of clever. I like it.
Yeah, very cool. It's like they're like the pipes.
Yep.
Let me take a closer look at that picture, though.
Why? Zoom
I
in.
was curious with the pumpkins. Okay, yeah, there's like drawings on the pumpkins. I see a Woody back there too.
Oh yeah,
like Woody from Toy Story, not like a Woody.
And you wrote that's amaze balls. I just want to make sure we've referenced that.
Yeah, no, it was. I like that.
That koozie. Now, what is koozie posted a bunch of pictures? We don't really know what it's from, though, do we?
I feel like I knew what it was, or did he say what it was? Hey, go through these pictures, but I think he said what.
Yeah, so we got a picture. I think they're just like some type of convention. It looks like he's at. We have a picture of someone looked like as.
Oh, I think it's Nintendo, the Nintendo Live thing.
Okay, so we got a link from looks like Tears of the Kingdom. We got some Animal Crossing people. Are they the ones that worked in the coffee shop? I think they're wearing like the blue with the apron.
Yeah. Blather, it would be.
Got.
Well, actually,
another
that's not
link.
But yeah,
that link looks pretty cool.
Sexy Goomba, which I think is a contender.
What about Pyra? Here we got your chick.
You know, Pura. You can dress up like Pura. She's definitely dressed up like Pura.
I was thinking, yes, she's definitely not Pyra. That's red. This
not
is Pura. You're right. My fault.
But Sexy Goomba kind of comes out of nowhere.
Is the fact that he took this picture and sent it to us, whether he was involved or not, like that's got to be my fantasy right there. Banging that.
Let me ask you a question.
Even if it's a guy, I don't care.
Remember a couple episodes ago we talked about like weekend of sex or playing with Tiger Woods, right?
Yes.
And I chose celebrity weekend of sex.
You did.
Would you reconsider your choice if it was a weekend of sex with Sexy Goomba?
Would it? All right. Anna Kendrick dressed as Sexy Goomba. Mask stays on.
Absolutely.
That's a different ball game now. That you're introducing a new twist. Yes.
You're like, I played golf. Yeah, well, I banged Goomba all weekend.
Goomba, not my dog, but Goomba. I love this Toadette costume because that's like homemade.
Yep.
That's a really cool costume there.
Cosplayers are amazing.
They are. That sounds like such a dirty word though, cosplay. And then we got the Yida clan. Those are some pretty cool costumes as well.
I wonder if they really played that up too.
Somebody mentioned the Nintendo dads. They did a Yida clan hideout haunted house.
Was the Christian, the guy that calls in with the voice.
That sounds fantastic. I got to see some pictures of that too. All right, and then what's this? All right, what's this video he has? I okay. I found my fantasy of men. I get it. I posted some videos of a haunted house, a drive-through house I went to.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool. That's just a house.
That was just a random house.
Crazy.
Yep. Huge driveway. And then what do we got here, John?
We've got the max power. Some Colorado person did like a Broncos watch party and all these like skeletons and dead people. So, but we're good now.
Well, let's not go too far. Yeah, I want to know if I'd say we're good.
Good. In fact, I'm watching the Bills right now, and we're gonna beat the shit out of the Bills next week in Buffalo.
Listen, right, if we beat the Bills, then you guys should beat the Bills.
It feels like a long time ago you beat the Bills. Let's just be honest.
It does.
It feels like a long time ago.
All right, what do we got here?
Koozie with a Ted Lasso costume that he found at the store. It looks pretty cool.
But was he referencing that it looks like Borat?
Yeah, it was definitely a little close to Borat.
Yep.
I'm a Borat.
Oh, yes, very nice.
We got your decorations.
Oh, yeah, I put my house up. Yep. What else we got?
Very cool stuff.
Oh, I posted the scene from Trick or Treat, the werewolves.
Yeah, when I saw the movie again, I'd kind of forgotten about that scene.
Yeah, we've talked. I thought this about one other episode. It's on the Discord. Go watch the one scene about the chits turn into werewolves. Just do it.
When you do watch it, it's not as raunchy as it could have been.
I agree with that. Like they showed like one or two boobs. Like if you're gonna show one or two, you might as well go all out and show like 8 pairs of boobs and like really get into it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't change the rating from R to any like, something else if you show 1 versus 8. I don't think. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
I mean, in some ways, the movie is, even though it is R-rated, it is like I wouldn't mind showing that to Cedric to watch, but if it was a lot more raunchy, I wouldn't be comfortable with him watching it.
I agree. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
And that's the only nudity scene I think in the whole movie.
Right. And that werewolf you see right there, that's Anna Paquin. So she's an Oscar winner. So she was the one that played Little Red Riding Hood. Anywho.
Yes.
Koozie went to Dollywood.
My mom went to Dollywood during Halloween season this year. I wonder if they saw each other. She said it was fantastic as well. These pictures look awesome.
Yeah, it's all dressed up and whatever. I don't know what Dollywood's about. I know there's like rides there and stuff, but I think you kind of go for like the food, the rides, and the fact that you're in like Dolly Parton's neck of the woods.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot to do in the town around it and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Very cool pictures. Darth Platypus back at it again with a very cool 3D printed TIE fighter, but the main part of it is a pumpkin shape. That's super clever. And the sides are actually like spider webs.
Yep.
Wait, did he put a real candle in that thing? Or is that one of those fake candles?
No, it's gotta be a real candle.
No way.
Yeah. I mean it's like a little Halloween light.
Yeah, like the little battery operated ones.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay.
We got you singing to your daughter. That was pretty funny.
That was funny. I enjoyed that.
And then proposing to your daughter with a star, and she says, "Hell no."
That's right.
I love that Bowser mask, though.
It's so cool. Koo's got that for me from Universal.
It's so good. All right, we got Jason Frost, Mr. Frosticles. I'll put his name on the list. Why don't you describe this picture?
Yeah, he's got a little blow up there with like a spooky tree with some pumpkins in it, and then a little graveyard he created in his yard.
I got a spooky tree with some pumpkins.
That's what she said. Episode posted, looks like just a random house, I think.
Yeah, sometimes I
don't know.
It's like a System of a Down thing where the Christmas lights are all synced up to the music.
Mm-hmm.
I swear sometimes I think these are like phony or whatever. I know they're not, but it's like so weird. And so often it's System of a Down too, which is I love. It's one of my favorite bands ever. But like, it's like I don't know. Like, are they just perfect for it?
Maybe.
Keep Cell, you're on the list. Darth Platypus with a little looks like a model. Those are the movie
he does photography and stuff a little bit. So
okay. Yeah, those are the characters from the movie that you can buy because they like have some articulation to them. And he put our names on the tombstones.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
How do you feel about that? Yeah.
What's he trying to say?
Yeah. I'm going to put this as a contender.
This is a contender. I agree.
We're dead. I'm going to say we're dead.
But you got to remember too, from Darth Platypus, you got to put all of his stuff together, right? So I'm trying to
manage it. I mean, you didn't do a PDF, so I'm just I'm basically getting the list of everyone down and then their best thing.
Well, put the pumpkin TIE fighter. I liked that too.
Okay. Well,
under Darth.
Then you got to tell me.
Two. All right, I liked the pumpkin TIE fighter. I thought that was unique. All right, keep going down. You went to a lot of this shit is me and you, I'm starting to realize, John. You went to a pumpkin patch.
Yeah, it was like a jack-o'-lantern event. Like jack-o'-lanterns, like none of these weren't real pumpkins, obviously, because can you imagine? Like this is running all month. These pumpkins would rot.
We have a place near our house that does it. Real pumpkins.
I really liked the lighting more than the jack-o'-lanterns. Cool. And I had these like the glasses on that like when you look into light, you see pumpkins. And
Oh, I have the Tris. Those things are fantastic.
yeah,
I love those.
when I went walking around trick-or-treating, I took a picture of myself and I was wearing that. That was from this event. And I had so much fun looking at houses and seeing all the pumpkins and everything. It was a good time.
I've never seen the Halloween ones. I have Christmas ones that have like trees or Santas or
Yeah.
snow. I never saw the pumpkin ones, but it makes perfect sense. Darth Platypus back at it again. They went on a Halloween safari with the family.
I love those.
Me too. It's just fun doing, that time of the year, just getting out and doing stuff with the family is great.
I feel like haunted houses have become really expensive lately.
Everything is.
But like really good haunted houses. It's just like, I can't bring everybody. It's too expensive. And then they oftentimes will have 2 haunted houses and you have to buy a ticket to both. Or the fact that like the haunted house is almost too good. And so it's too expensive. And it's like, look, I know it's really good and everything, but I don't want to spend $50 for a ticket. You know what I mean? Like that sort of thing.
And then if you want the hayride, that's extra.
Yeah, exactly. They try to link you in too much. It's like, look, make it like $15. I'll go,
Yeah, I agree with that.
Man, you know what? Josh Allen throws so many interceptions, man.
They stink.
Just constant. We're going to kick. Did I mention we're going to kick their asses next week in Buffalo?
Sorry, Rizzle. Skinny Matt has, looks like, I think we'll see more about this later, but he's doing custom homemade Pac-Man costumes. You gotta respect the homemade costumes. You don't see it a lot anymore.
I don't know if we got a follow-up to that, but...
we did.
Oh, we did? Okay,
Somewhere.
all right.
It's down below. I love this next one. Put this on the contender list. Koozie dressed up as looks like serial killer Toad. Looks like in his front of his daughter's treehouse. I think we've heard this story about that before. And he wrote Toad's Scary House. So with spooky crossed off, John. That's a direct insult to me and you.
He's angry.
He looks angry in that picture. He
He's
has a Mario
scary,
hat with a knife.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's like a movie poster.
He's very much against the whole spooky thing. He thinks it just be scary.
All right, well, just,
spooky.
Just need spooky too. All right. Halloween parade. Darth Platypus threw one in there. Rizzle.
A lot of butts in that first picture. A lot of butts.
I like a good butt, but you're right. A lot of butts. Rizzle on the board with some his 2 kids dressed as Pokemon. We looked like we got an Eevee. And what's the other water one?
That's the starter, right?
The starter that turned into like Inteleon? Yeah.
Oh, isn't it from Sword and Shield? Yeah, it's from Sword and Shield. It's I forgot. I'll just look it up. It is the water starter from Sword and Shield.
And then he followed up
actually
with
like it.
Some alcohol. Gotta respect it.
Sobble. My God.
Sobble.
Okay.
Skinny Matt looks like he is posting a trebuchet of pumpkin throwing. That's pretty cool. You gotta put like a target out there, like a scarecrow or something. That's my recommendation. I don't know if he's attending or if he's running this event, but that's my recommendation for next year.
Just fired in the air.
We gotta get moving here. We got a lot left. We got Frosticles with some pumpkins. Pretty cool ones. It looks like he's got Gengar from Pokemon Jet Skeleton and a Minecraft guy. Those are some good ones.
I like the skeleton. Yeah, those are hard to do.
Contenders. Texas Trey. Looks like he's also going as a homemade Pac-Man. This one's a little more 3-dimensional. A lot of effort put into this thing. Hambone getting on the board with this cute little pumpkin sticker thing on a piece of paper. And I want to say he says, "I'm just a little pumpkin," and puts it in the paper shredder.
It's like a recycle bin.
Something. I'm not really sure what's happening there, Hambone. I'm not gonna lie, but I respect the effort.
Drinking on the job again. That's Hambone.
But you know what it is? This is one of those videos I think I watched 10 times just to listen to him say, "Oh, I'm a little pumpkin." Oh boy.
Got some more Darth pumpkins after your pumpkin seeds picture.
Oh, that was a lot of seeds. Those were good. Yeah, some more. He looks like he tried to make a boo. All right.
Yeah, pretty good. That's pretty intricate. You get those little entrails.
Hoots on the board. Looks like his kids are Mario and Luigi. Gonna love the mustaches.
Very cute.
What's next here?
We got a tier maker for candy, which chocolate at the top for sure. We can have a whole episode on candy tier maker.
We could.
Maybe we should. Maybe we should do a candy tier maker episode.
We should. I agree with you, John. By the way, dots are fucking fantastic.
Yes.
And my kids didn't get 1 dots out of all the candy they got. 0 dots. So what does that mean? Now I have to buy dots.
Oh, you get a big box and you chew them and your mouth gets just so sticky.
And your teeth are just...
You're like, I can't wait to floss later, but I'm enjoying this right now.
Yeah.
You have your cerveza on the board with like one of those projection things in the window, which is super creepy guy like putting his hands on the window.
Yeah, I like that. Is that
cool.
his? That must be where he is, right?
I think it's his. It must be his. Otherwise, I think he would have said otherwise. But...
Make sure he's on the board.
On the board.
Chris, 8Gel94. Looks like he made a little Triforce pumped in there. It looks kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Very neat. He like scratched off the outer orange to make it glow.
Yeah, I'll be sure. I wish I don't think he posted one on it glowing. I'd love to see what it looks like. Goomba, back up on the board, dressed as a little caterpillar.
Adorable.
Did you dress the cats up, John?
Yeah, I got a picture of the cats dressed up. I'm not sure if I posted it here.
I don't think you did post it.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got here? Hambone?
Hambone's got a picture of the neighborhood kids.
Very cool.
How do you get the picture of the neighborhood? Like some neighborhoods will do all the trick-or-treating together.
They do.
Like that doesn't happen here. Is this like small town stuff or...
Yeah,
you got to know your block, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of places do that around here.
Yeah.
This was like, they were in somebody's backyard, maybe a little like pre-trick-or-treating party. There you go. There's Skinny Matt. There's his finished product.
Yep.
Him and his wife are Patman, Mrs. Patman, and his 2 kids are ghosts.
And
what are the 2 names, John?
What's that?
What are the 2 names of those 2 ghosts?
Pinky and Inky.
Wow. How come, Matt, where's Pac-Man's eye?
He doesn't have an eye in the original.
Does he not have one? No. Well, there you go. You know better than I do. You did your homework. That was a test. It was a test. All right. Chris HL looks like he posted a picture of his house next door with some really cool decoration. That's a good one.
Very well lit up.
Darth Platypus, another net. There you go. He's showing his now Boo lit up jack-o'-lantern. Very cool.
Very nice.
And then...
Popcorn ball review.
Oh my God. I gotta say, Kevin Kuzman, I could watch his social media all day. I don't watch social media, but this guy gets it. He's just good at it. Did you watch this?
Oh yeah, I watched it. I share all his TikToks.
I loved the popcorn review, and he nailed it. Like, it shouldn't be good. I don't even like popcorn, but it just works for some reason. If you have not watched his review, go watch it.
I'm calling bullshit on it. I can see it in his face. He's not loving it. I think he's not loving it.
Listen, it's not good. It is messy. It's something about the taste. It's just there, John. You gotta have one.
Is there caramel in the ones that you were eating, or is it just popcorn?
Yeah, I think that's kind of how they pull it together a little bit. It's good.
Yeah. Don't eat it in your car, kids.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, go outside.
No, you should actually eat them outside. Let the crumbs fall on the ground.
Eat it outside or eat it over his sink. Because when he's taking a bite out of it, I'm like, he's in his Tesla. Like, what is he doing?
Yeah. He probably had all on his clothes and probably shimmied out of the door and just shook it off.
Oh, yeah. He was probably vacuuming for like 10 minutes.
Bunch more Halloween decorations. I posted some. Episode posted some neighbor houses. Let's see here. Episode
Creepy
more
clown.
houses.
Beware of clowns. That's the last Episode picture there.
There's your kids, a hot dog, and what's Melody there?
She was going for a different costume, and it didn't quite work out.
Okay.
So she just wore all black, and she put on her black bucket hat, and that was what she did. It's kind of a null costume.
Kind of a cop-out, but it's okay.
Yeah. And we had gone, they had walked out, and they had little buckets that they usually have, but every year the buckets just get filled up really fast. And I was like, you know what?
You need a bigger
Let's go back. I said, let's get a sack or whatever. And I said, I have a Dad's After Dark
bag.
And Melody immediately said, that's mine.
Really?
Because it matches her costume and it
does. I like it.
And then I had the Pikmin bag that we got when we got Pikmin from Best Buy.
Yeah.
And I just got those for 2. Cedric really didn't. He wasn't going to really trick or treat long anyway. And so yeah, they had bags and they filled them up, and so it was like much better than the buckets.
Yeah, you know what? With the kids, we do that. They have the pumpkins, but we always bring like a bag or 2. We actually bring 2 smaller bags, and then they dump in the bag and hold it for them.
Yeah.
So very cool. It's a nice bag. What's this here? Bleacher Report video. Webby dresses as Slender Man. I don't know if I saw this link. I did not see that.
There is a Halloween costume of Inscription. I forget the character, but it was the guy and he had the multiple faces.
Oh, that was
Jesse
cool.
did. Yeah.
That was very cool.
Yeah. I want to play that again on Switch.
I wouldn't mind it. But it's not going to be the same experience as you kind of know now. But it's just the gameplay's not terrible either.
Yeah, and there's that mod which makes it like a roguelike game, so I wanted to try that a bit too. But I probably for the hell of it, let me just play the campaign again, and then I'll do the mod.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do. Darth Platypus dressed as Luigi.
Full costume.
Yeah, it's the same hat from before.
Oh, yeah, there's your pumpkin glasses.
Yeah. It was lovely.
You didn't put any context with it. I didn't know what I was looking at here.
I didn't. I mean, I just put them on. I went outside and I didn't dress up like my rainbow unicorn. I was like, it was like the last minute. I wasn't ready to go out. It was still, you can see it's still too light out. And I went to put my jeans on because it was going to be cold and I had my glasses in there. I was like, oh yeah. And so I put them on and it was so much fun. You
didn't manscape a little bit there. Beard's getting a little long.
I have since shaved. Yeah, I was a little overgrown there.
Tim posting some pictures of his kids, I think.
Yeah, they were giving out candies from home, doing the full size candies, so doing the Lord's work. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Navno Ryan is back. Looks like we his 3 kids. It looks like
his middle kid
is Link.
Is his middle kid named Link and dressed up as Link, or
is it
are
really?
the kids on the left and right characters I don't know? I am assuming that those are his kids' names.
No. That might be Gabby's dollhouse. I don't know who that witch is. Elphaba?
All right, let me look it up here because I was confused because I didn't know Gabby or Elphaba.
Look up Elphaba.
Elphaba is the protagonist in Wicked. I feel like we should have known that.
Wait, is that the Wicked Witch? Is her real name?
That's basically the witch from the Wicked, like the Wicked show, the life and times of the Wicked Witch of the West. It's the theater show.
But her real name, I've actually seen that on Broadway, John.
You should have known.
I should have known. Yeah, she's the Wicked Witch of the West. That's all you need to know.
All right.
Darth, and I love it. More pictures. It looks like some trick-or-treating houses.
Yep.
So we got another Link. This one's Breath of the Wild Link.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild Link. Solo. And
look, there's the
not Jawas.
Two not Jawas.
It's such a creepy costume.
Mm-hmm. Dat Fast John posted a nice picture of his family. Looks like we got some Cappy hats on. Hey, I don't think we wrote down Dat Fast yet, so make sure we get his name written in.
The Niners. Just threw a Niners jersey on?
I guess he did.
Who is 97 on the Niners?
Probably a tight end.
Is it Bosa? It is Nick Bosa. Okay. How important is a football jersey to Halloween? Because that really is a go-to. I've done it.
It's easy. It's easy. Spider Shan, dressed as a pickle.
Spider Shan is a pickle.
I like that. That might be his first one.
I liked his story too about his kids not wanting to go out, and then
I know I saw funny. That.
And he was a pickle.
I mean, can't get better than a pickle. And then we came to the informant. If you guys remember last year, he did some really cool pumpkins of us. And this year, Johnny did not disappoint.
We've got a little song we're going to play. This is from The Informant. Now, he had an Office Space video that is better visually than audio, so check the channel. But here is the song he wrote for us.
That's After Dark. Woo! Ooh, it's getting kind of late. That's after dark. Better get the kids to bed so I can go manscape. That's after dark. Dig through the candy, maybe find myself a treat. That's after dark. Then I'll go offer my lady some meat. That's after dark. Oh no, I guess she's not in the mood. That's after dark. Perhaps I should have offered something more than just food. That's after dark. Oh well, maybe I'll play some games instead. That's after dark. Listen to my favorite podcast with some plugs in my head.
That's after dark. That's after dark.
He needs better headphones.
That's after dark. That's after dark. John's a blanc and true to Fusco. They sent my kid a dildo. The song is getting weird though. So happy Halloween. That's after dark. That's after dark. That's after dark. That's after dark. That's after dark.
Happy Halloween!
Good.
Well done, Ed. It's so. I'm not gonna lie. For like the next few days, I was like, "Dead at the dark," just walking around my house. It's sketchy. It's sketchy. Man, yeah.
Does need a correction. We did not send your daughter a dildo. You gave her the dildo. We sent the dildo to you.
Correct. That is on you, your wife, and your kid, not us.
We're not taking the rap for that.
Fair point, John. I'm glad you said that. It was made out to you only. And may I remind you, Mr. Informant, what you sent me last year on Secret Santa? Because
what was it?
It was some very naughty pictures of Peachette and
that's
dildos.
Right.
It was worse. It was. What if my kids saw that?
I know.
You did say not kid friendly.
That's not kid friendly. And then for Christmas last year, you sent me the boob.
I did send you,
which
boob.
I still have. Pinch the boob from time to time.
Boob.
Yeah.
Did your kids see the boob?
No, I keep it in the box.
Michelle has seen the boob.
She's seen the boob. She squeezed the boob.
Did you ever bring that boob to bed?
No, I don't.
All right, I
have my own boob I can squeeze while I'm in bed.
That's a good point. Your boob or your wife's boob?
I meant my wife's boob.
So, I mean, what a video. You guys need to watch it. And to John's point, there's another second half to the video of from last year when Jesse, Tim, and Justin pretty much reenact the Office Space scene of when they beat the shit out of the printer or fax machine, whatever it was, like verbatim. Like, they nailed it. And they just beat the shit out of the dads at the Dark Pumpkin. And
it was so good. I thought it was AI.
You did. You're like, wow, good AI. And I'm like, I'm not sure what he's talking about. But even Jesse had like the bat swirl, and Justin's like flipping off it was
that's what
great.
sold me. Jesse, I was impressed with Jesse. It was so accurate to the movie. I was like, there's no way they did this. And it
was great. It was great. So the Informant never disappoint, buddy. Well done.
I'm going to say right now, the Informant takes first place already.
Yeah.
Let's finish up. But He wrote a song. You have been dying for poems and songs, and you finally got it.
Yep. And then he follows up with some amazing pictures. He dressed up as Mario with his daughter as Bowser. He's at a very spooky house retreat. I hope that's not his house, God.
And a lot of pumpkins.
A lot of pumpkins this year. He created a fuzzy. Love the fuzzy. But John, how about this Bowser Jr. one from Mario Wonder when he has like the mask on?
Yeah.
Like the dark mask. How does he do these things? They're fucking amazing.
Some people put so much effort into the pumpkin thing. I mean, it's a combination of being drawn, etched, and all that. But that is,
I'm not gonna lie,
fantastic work.
By the time I cut a pumpkin open and get all the guts out, like I'm already done. Like I don't want to now carve it. Like I'm already like I want to sit down and eat my pumpkin seeds. I don't want to like carve it. But
I take the seeds out. I gut the pumpkins and give them to the kids. And I'm while they are carving, I am just getting through the seeds and getting the crap out of it. I don't carve. That's what I do.
You'd have to shit.
I don't have the patience for doing it anymore.
All right, what else we got?
An informant's got a few more pictures of the house with tons of. Looks like my brother-in-law's actually. A lot of these are right from my brother-in-law's house too.
Mm-hmm.
Skeletons all over the place, and Darth Platypus with all of his pumpkins from his house. There's like a
lit up. Yeah.
Spiders? I think we saw these before. These are all lit up.
Yeah, lit up now.
So looking
that's
good.
it.
I think that wraps it up.
That does wrap it up. All right, so how many? What do we got, John? Go through the list, and we said there's a first place, which we said it. Unfortunately, the informant back-to-back champions. Can this man be broken? Can he be taken down? I don't know.
I don't think he won last year. Somebody else won last year. He didn't win last year.
Really?
Yeah.
With the pumpkin?
Yeah.
I'll have to pull the record books. Actually, let me see.
I know he did win last year.
I'm going to pull up the...
I forgot who did win, but it went to somebody else.
I might be able to quickly find that while we go through that list.
Okay. Well, we got first place. The prize is going to be 15 of eShop cash. Second place is 10, and then we're going to do the lotto. And so what we need to do right now is decide who our second place is going to be. There's a lot of contenders. The ones that I have bolded for myself, I guess, but we need to talk through. We got Darth Platypus, who did many different entries. He has the little diorama with the tombstones of you and I, which is a nice little personal touch that he made.
Remember, really quick, the 3 categories, right, that we want to make sure we're judging on. There was categories. Hold on, I'll make sure I say the correct verbiage. The 3 categories were spookiness, not scariness, spookiness, creativity, and Nintendo. So we got to make sure we keep those 3 words in mind as we assign winners. And Informant did hit all 3 of them. All right, so now I'm sorry. Now you can continue.
I also really like Kuzi's picture of a sexy Goomba.
Oh,
it wasn't him dressing up. I appreciate him. It's probably not eligible to win, but damn, it made my Halloween.
But you got to remember, this is a collaboration of all the things he submitted. He also had the Scary Toad movie poster, as well as the Popcorn Ball review. So
is it a collaboration or is a single thing?
No. It's always been a collaboration of individual entries.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Okay.
So he has those 3 things going for him.
I didn't write everything. I kind of kept track of the favorite things because I thought it was just one thing.
Well, it's okay. I remember them all.
Okay.
But Dark Platypus did have a bunch. What was some of the ones you said he had?
I have the tombstone diorama thing and the pumpkin TIE fighter.
Oh, that's right. I liked that. All right. What else did you have that really drew your interest?
Those were my lead contenders that I recorded.
I did like Frosted Rolls pumpkins. He had the Jandar and Jet Skeleton.
I like your mom's pumpkins.
All right, so I think I do agree with you. I think it's coming down. Of course, I can't vote for myself. I think it's between Kuz and Darth.
Yeah, Darth also had the Halloween Safari.
Okay.
And he had the parade picture, and those were a couple of
Luigi's Mansion. He you know what? He put a lot out there.
Yeah, he's got the pumpkins that he carved. There was a lot, actually. There's a lot.
His full Luigi costume. You're right. I'm kind of as much as God, I could watch that popcorn eating video on repeat all day. I think I'm gonna watch it tomorrow
which
morning.
one? The recycling.
No, Cruz's popcorn ball.
Oh, right. The pumpkin, the delicious popcorn.
I mean, what's your vote, Cruz or Darth?
It's tough to choose. They're both good.
They are both good.
I would say I talked up Darth. He had a bunch of things. I do like the diorama.
Yep, the diorama was cool.
Kuz had the pumpkin, the video, the popcorn video. His toad thing. I've seen the toad thing before, but I love the crossing off the spooky and putting in the scary.
That's you know what it is though. When you think about the judging, that's a nice little throw out to us specifically, right? That was a little nod.
He's catering to the judges.
He is. He knew, or opposite, because he trusts out spooky.
I'm going to say this. You ready for this, Drew?
I'm ready for this.
I think it's a tie for second place. I think they both win.
They both win $10. I agree with that, John. I'm okay with that because they went the extra mile. I'm okay with that. So the informant will take home the grand prize winning. What's that? $25 or $15?
$15.
$15. And then both Darth Platypus and Mr. Bob Cousy himself will get $10 each.
Feeling charitable.
We are feeling charitable. And now
they were both very good.
Over yet. We still have a random person. So for every person that just posted a Halloween picture, how many do we have, John? Let me read off their names really quick. Make sure we don't forget anybody.
Aside from the winners, we have Solo Something, Rizzle, Navno, Max Power, Jason Frost, Ibicel, Skinny Matt, Texas Trey, Hambone Johnny, Hoots, Beer Cerveza, Chris HL94, Datfast, Spider Shan.
Did you
14 non-winners, and then we had the 3 winners, but they're not.
Did you say Chris HL?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did Jesse post something? Is he eligible?
Not eligible.
Tim's not eligible either?
It's a monthly mayhem. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think you did everybody.
All right.
Esco Richard. No, he just posted a link to Bleacher Report. Okay. I think we got everyone.
Okay. Yeah, I think we got everybody. If we missed somebody, we tried not to, but I think we got
out of luck. I mean, just shit out of luck if we missed you. I'm sorry. But maybe that's your ball next time.
All right. I'm going to hit the button 10 times. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the winner is 4. So Darth doesn't count. 1, 2, 3 doesn't count. Max Power.
All right.
Wins the lotto. Right under Cousy. Right there. So congratulations to all of our winners, and thank you for everybody who submitted. It's so much fun every single year.
It is.
Grand prize winner is an informant who gets $15. We had a tie. We can afford to pay out for a tie. Darth Platypus and Cousy take second place, and the lotto winner also $10. Max Power.
Yeah, thank you again for submitting all your awesome stuff, guys. We love seeing the family and all the pictures on your Halloween night. Remember, we got still Mario Wonder Monthly Mayhem going on. We're only in the second phase. We got a few more days left of that, and we'll be entering into the third and fourth round. And then also keep an eye out this month for the announcement for Presents After Dark, which is again our Secret Santa, which last year was a huge showing, like almost 30 people or something ridiculous. So make sure you keep an eye out for that and make sure you sign up. We want to make sure we'll be posting it everywhere and talking about it nonstop. So
it'll be a lengthy sign up period. We're not going to give you like 3 days to get in. So we'll be doing it probably in a week. We'll start doing sign ups.
Agreed.
And then sometime around Thanksgiving break, we'll make the assignments.
Yep. Perfect.
All right.
Sweet.
Let's jump into some news. We got NES games added to Nintendo Switch Online. These are still always fun announcements, even if there's never really anything that makes me like
excitement of what could it be.
Yeah, like I never dropped everything to go and play whatever they posted, but it's always interesting. They added Castlevania Legends from the Game Boy.
Who cares?
They added Devil World, which is the forbidden NES cartridge with religious symbology. This is a Shigeru Miyamoto game. This one is actually one I will play.
Wow.
I've always been curious about this one, but Miyamoto made this game, but it never left Japan because it was heretical. And then the Mysterious Castle, another game that never left Japan. Looks kind of interesting.
Could you say that one more time for us?
The Mysterious Castle.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Murasame. I don't know how it's pronounced.
I don't either. I just liked how you said it.
Murasame. And then we also got Mario Party 3 landing on Nintendo Switch Online.
I'm playing this on the plane. I'm not going to lie.
Really?
You know me, I love Mario Party. I'll probably break my Joy-Cons, but I'm pumped.
Tim played a lot of N64 Nintendo Switch Online today on his, and he ended with GoldenEye. But he played I think 2 hours of Mario Party 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and too much N64 for my taste, man. I still, rough system. Bills continue to get their asses kicked, by the way.
Indeed.
So go play those games. They're all out right now. There was also, I'm going to skip down here, but the Mario Kart Booster Pass got completed, which is very cool. Wave 6 is out.
Yeah,
and
I guess
the
so.
courses are, give me a quick thumbs up, thumbs down on each one. You ready?
Sure.
Wii Rainbow Road.
Up.
Tour Madrid Drive.
I don't know yet.
Double Dash's DK Mountain.
I'll go up.
Wii Daisy Circus.
I'll go up.
Daisy Circuit.
I think that's maybe a down. That's a nothing birder.
Piranha Plant Cove. I think that's from Tour.
New?
I don't know. I thought that maybe it's not from Tour. Maybe it is new. I don't know.
This one looks good though.
Okay. SNES's Bowser Castle 3. I love how they always have the numbers.
I'm a sucker for Bowser Castle levels. Listen up.
Yeah. Tour Rome Avanti.
I'm down. I'm all set with these Tour.
Aviato. 3DS's Rosalina's Ice World.
I don't remember this one.
I don't remember it either, but I know I must have played it a gazillion times.
I agreed.
So these come out November 7th. So it's tomorrow if you're listening to this, the first night. And they also summarized all the new characters. I think there's no new characters in this wave, but Birdo.
Is that true?
I don't know. I thought so.
I don't know if that's true.
Here's the total new characters. Maybe Funky Kong is new in this one. Birdo, Petey Piranha, Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, Wiggler, Kamek, Peachette, Pauline. So pretty good. I want to try Petey Piranha.
Me too.
I actually adopted
He's from
Kamek.
Double Dash.
I adopted Kamek as my main because I want to settle on a new character just for something fresh. And I was kind of like using Kamek, but I don't love Kamek.
Is Kamek small?
He's just, he's a mid-range, I think.
Okay.
But
I don't
know. Petey Piranha just seems like he'd be fun to use.
I always looked at Kamek as a girl. No? Is it a boy?
I don't know. I think I don't know. It's Kamek.
It's a turtle thing.
I'm really excited this is done.
Me too.
And I haven't jumped on Mario Kart every time a wave comes out, but now that it's done, I feel like I want to get back to it and try to get really good again. I don't know if I will, but now that it's done, it feels like, okay, we're done. I can jump in and start learning some of these courses. I still suck at the tour courses.
Yeah, I don't like them.
They're complicated.
They are complicated. It's too much going on.
But yeah, I do want to jump on, just play some randos or anything and just hang out. And I'm going to try to play more.
I'm going to play something Tuesday night. Maybe I'll play around the Mario Party 3 or this if somebody wants to jump on. Because it's Dancing with the Stars night, and I hate that fucking show. And I sit there, and I'm going to either play this or I'm going to play Mario Party 3 with the community or you guys if you guys want to play.
I might play. I can't do Tuesdays right now, but we'll see. All right, so it's all done. Now we're ready for Mario Kart 9. Let's go. Mario Kart 9, launch day, Nintendo Switch 2. That's what I want.
Whoa. That
all
won't
right.
happen, though. By the way, that's not going to happen.
Another bit of news. Twitch is ending support for its app on Switch. Nobody used it.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. It didn't have all the features. It was probably took an hour to get it started and going. Just use your phone. They're pulling it from the store. It's basically being pulled from the store Monday. That's today, if you're listening to this. And but it's only going to last a couple more months. They are pulling the plug on it January 31st, 2024. So whatever. Nobody cares. Nothing to talk about. One last thing, Drew. Dreamlight Valley, it was announced, is not going to be free to play after all. What do you think about that?
Huh? That's weird. I mean, I don't know a lot about what's happening here, why, but yeah, I think it's just a weird thing to promise people this, right? And now all of a sudden it's just not happening anymore, right? I don't know. I mean, what's your thoughts? It's just, I don't know. I just think it's odd. I don't know the history behind that. I'd have to do some research, but
I don't have a particularly strong, I'm not going to send death threats to the developers or whatever, but it is weird that the game came out a year ago. I remember when it came out, it was free on Game Pass and you had to pay money on Switch. It was like the Founders Pack. And I thought it was kind of lame that they were making you pay money for it. And then it was like free on Game Pass and all that jazz. And then it was like, okay, but when's the free version come out? And they were saying it's going to come out soon, blah, 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 blah. And it was just weird. And I've talked about this early access shit, which is really getting on my nerves, making you pay money for something that they're going to give you for cheaper or free later. But But yeah, like over a year later, and now it's like, oh, never mind. It's not going to be free to play. It's been pretty successful, and we're just going to make everybody pay. I don't feel super strongly against it because when you buy it, you're getting a bunch of like currency.
So what drives this, right? Do you think it's that the current players are supporting it more than they imagine, so they don't need the I don't want to say they don't need the money, right? Do you think it's that they're nervous that more players are going to bog down the servers? You know what I'm saying? Like what's their driving factor if they develop a game with a plan and now they say, we're gonna deviate from that plan and just stay? They must be getting enough income.
I think they're getting a lot of income, and like you said, like if you add a bunch of people, they're charging for it, and people are playing it in droves, presumably.
Yeah.
So usually when you do free to play, you're trying to get many people to see your game, enjoy your game, pay into the game.
You're right.
But they just don't need to. They're just basically forcing you to get currency when you get the game. And that's it. I think a lot of people are fine with it.
And it's probably for the best, right? Let's be honest, because they're not going to bake in, because they still do a lot of updates. I see them all the time, right? They're not going to make these updates now like baked into now putting $10 in to complete them. Now it's just going to be like, you bought this game. If you want to complete it quicker, sure, you can pay for it. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? They might design these updates differently knowing that.
Yeah.
By the way, there's this chick on the stream with the biggest tits I've ever seen, just chowing down on a cheeseburger, playing Slay of the Spire. I posted, I sent you a picture. I don't even know how to
big. It's gross. It's
gross.
Yeah.
It's literally gross. And she's just like dropping ketchup on them. It's just.
I just thought it was a little weird and whatever, but like I said, I don't have like a strong opinion, and maybe.
Yeah,
I wonder if we're going to see less free to play. There's so many people that have done free to play just to get exposure for their game. And really, you can say that some of these gaming services are a little bit free to play. They're giving away something to get more exposure so that they can hopefully sell it down the road. But, whatever. They can do what they want to do. I don't think there was many people out there waiting for the free version on bated breath, and it's like, well, you could just buy it for like $20. And
I know. I think that's the thing too. A lot of these like diehard Disney fans probably already bought it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
all right, we've got some topics, and this first one is from you.
It is. So, my topic for you this week, John, is: did Nintendo fuck up their release schedule? Right. So, we can blame COVID. We can blame all these things, but we all knew that from October 1st or September-ish to the end of the year was going to be this busy schedule of Nintendo first-party releases, right? And we're in the heat of it right now, where we had Wonder, we just had WarioWare, and literally in a week and a half or so, we're getting Mario RPG, right? And then we still have, I mean, this isn't directly their fault, but Pokemon DLC, I mean, that's kind of a big deal, right? It's Pokemon's biggest game, their most recent game, and now they're putting out this big DLC add-on. So, are all of these things, did they fuck it up, right? And I think this kind of ties into me saying I'm almost not getting WarioWare, and I wasn't even excited for it because there's so many other things I'm excited for, right? So, what's just your overall thoughts on this Nintendo release schedule now that we're in the middle of it, right? I think it's easy to say up front, like you're excited because you have game after game after game. But now that we're here, right, and I think me and you are exception, we do play games fairly quick, right? But to say that me and you 100% completed the newest Mario game in 2 weeks or less, I gotta think that's the minority. There's not a lot of people out there saying that, right?
Some people are.
Sure.
Yeah.
Less than 5%, I'm sure, to be honest, that bought this game. So, yeah. I mean, what's your thoughts on all of this?
Part of me really believes that the way I see it is Mario Wonder, WarioWare, and Mario RPG are coming out within less than a month of each other. That feels
3 big games. Well,
wrong.
Maybe WarioWare's not big, but you get my point.
There's Pokemon DLC that I don't see as like a huge deal. and it's usually a November timeline anyway. But those three are conspicuous, and something inside me feels like Mario Wonder was supposed to come out in like February for the movie, March, April, whatever. The only thing that puts a crimp in that, and this could be changed, is that Tears of the Kingdom ran late, and they launched it in May, which was right after the movie.
Okay, and they didn't want to.
You don't want to put Mario and Zelda, two of your biggest franchises, together like that.
Sure,
but Tears of the Kingdom was supposed to come out in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a feeling like, remember the big discussions, and Nintendo dads were having them too, that there should have been a Mario game available when the movie came out. Everyone sees the movie, and like, that's great. Let's go buy the game.
They see merch in the store. They see games. They see all of this.
Sure, there's Mario Odyssey and Mario 3D World and all that, but like a new game would have been really cool to package with it. And if you look at the animations and the styling of Mario Wonder, they look much closer to the movie than old
I do agree with that.
So I have a feeling that Mario Wonder was supposed to come out closer to the movie, and I have to guess not right after it with Tears of the Kingdom, but maybe around March or so.
But maybe Tears of the Kingdom fucked that up, right?
Maybe Tears of the Kingdom messed it up. They didn't want to push it super far because people were like, it was really overdue. It had been delayed a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I feel like March or April for Mario would have been ideal, and it ended up being a lot later. And if you also look at it, like WarioWare is sort of a niche game. It feels a little close to Mario RPG. But I feel like these games are coming out too close to each other, especially Mario Wonder and Mario RPG.
And no, I mean, I know this, you might call it a nothing burger, but even the Mario Kart Last Wave, I mean, I know we kind of knew this was coming before the end of the year, but that's also all within this 30-day period, right?
Yeah.
So I guess my point is you want people playing and talking about your game because of Mario Wonder is such a big game that you barely had any time or even any time to advertise for WarioWare, right? Or now it's like you don't really have any time to even for Mario RPG to advertise. And I think we all know RPG is not going to be nearly as big as Wonder was, but you still want to advertise for a new Mario game that you put time and money into develop. Right? It just seems weird to me. I mean, we saw so many. I mean, I could still watch Wonder TV, so like I saw so many commercials for Wonder. We saw like you seen cardboard cutouts in the stores. You know, you had all the build up, but now you have no time to build up any of these other things. It just seems really odd to me. Like what's really even? I mean, I get it. Again, you want to put these out so people can buy them for the holiday, but I think there's a lot of value in the momentum of a game and watching that die off before you introduce something new. And they didn't do this here. I think WarioWare will perform poorly because of it. I do.
Right.
I think it's going to perform very poorly. And here I am buying it. Also, it was sold out at Walmart yesterday.
People who love WarioWare are going to buy WarioWare.
So who am I? But I don't know. I think it was some very weird, interesting choices. I feel like now they're just trying to get shit out. Like we gotta get it out. We just gotta get I don't care anymore. I feel like somebody's saying just get it out. Wrap up whatever you're working on and get these games out. And I feel like we're getting pushed on us. And it's to the point where I talked about earlier is I don't even care now about whether it's, you know, a third tier game for them WarioWare. I don't even care about it anymore. Where any first party Nintendo game I would just buy. Now it's like, there's so many other things I have to play right now. Do I need it? And I'll be honest, I really bought it more for my family. You know, as like a little like you know what, guys, let's all just trying to be together and play together.
This is definitely the I regret buying WarioWare by Drew show.
Listen, it was $50. Sure, I regret it. If I took my family to the movies, it would have cost more than that for 2 hours or 3 hours, right? Whatever. So that I honestly bought it looking at it like, oh, we'll play for a few weekends together. That's the way I look at it, John. It's a family activity. Go to a haunted house.
Yeah, I hope that they're putting everything out because I'm hoping in the spring. I hope we get the announcement of the Switch 2,
I
and
think
that
we will.
they can't push these games much further because of the holidays. They don't like to sell games really in December. The holidays and the Switch 2, they got to start getting all the Switch stuff out now.
I mean,
and even
and
though
what are
I know they'll be backwards compatible, but you know.
And what is the 3 games we know, right? We got Princess Peach, Luigi's Mansion remake,
That doesn't even count.
Thousand Year Door remake.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, what are the other games in the hopper that we know? And I'm still pissed we never did a Punch Out game.
Not happening. Maybe
it's
Switch
not happening. 2. It's definitely not happening.
By the way, this just broke, and I'm like looking at this in amazement. But there's a picture of, I'm not sure where this is, but there is a Switch OLED release of Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. So it is a Switch OLED, and it has the old Smash Brothers Joy-Cons. Remember the cross on the left side, and then the right, the Joy-Con on the right has just a line.
Yes.
Really kind of bad Joy-Cons. Never were a fan favorite. They're gray.
Yep.
But they are packaging them with a OLED, and it comes with a copy of Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, and it comes with 3 months free of NSO, so you can enjoy the shitty network version of it.
What's the price?
I don't see a price for it.
Well, do you think they're packaging that for free or no chance?
I'm going to say, I don't know, because the Joy-Cons aren't exciting enough, and they're probably just trying. I have to imagine they're just trying to get rid of those old Joy-Cons. I would say this would be a great $300 value, like a Black Friday deal.
That could sell if it was. If it's 360 or 3, I just don't.
Yeah,
then people are going to go out of the way to get it.
This is just not exciting enough to be like, this is probably real and not a hoax. It's like, okay, they're just trying to clear all their shit out lately. And this makes a lot of sense. I hope they're selling this for $300 and just making it a deal so they can, they get to get rid of these Joy-Cons. They get to get rid of more Switches. Mm-hmm. It's another box that I want. I don't know. I actually honestly might be tempted by this.
Oh my God.
Because I never had the Smash Joy-Cons. I've never owned them. But if it's $300 and it's like, well, I'll take that digital copy. I'll put it on my system so I always have it. I don't know. I can make it work maybe.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, that's been spotted. So keep an eye out for that.
All right.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Yeah. All right. So top 5 simple pleasure moments in games. I thought about this because I was playing a game, and I don't want to say specifically. And something happened, and I was like, I love that when that happens in a game. And it's just not like, this isn't like top 20 moments in games. This is like just the little generic things you see in games when you go, I love when that happens in a game. And I thought it'd be cool to talk about, like, what are those simple moments in games? And I put together a list. Did you make a list?
Nope.
Okay, you did. Oh, you did make a list.
No, I did not make a list.
All right. Well, I'll just go solo.
I got stuff in my head though. I can provide.
You should prepare for a show. All right.
Listen,
so
I added a topic. I had a busy weekend, John. I have top 3.
It's a 2-week document, Drew. Okay. So I have a list here. I'll run through this list.
Okay.
These are
I'll add to it. How about
my little moments. And you can jump in what you want. I don't know how sorted these are, but seeing a save file show you how many hours in progress you have in a game. I love that. I wish every game did that.
Okay. I do agree with that. And even the percent complete. I like that too. Like, I want to know. I want to know how far I am.
There's a lot of RPGs where you save it and you think it's showing your time, but then you realize it's just a time stamp of the last time you saved.
That's like the opposite of pleasure. That's like a letdown. It's like,
I want to know like how many hours into the game I am. Like the Mario RPGs always have it. It's like, I want to know how far in I am.
Stars did it decently, didn't they? If I remember
I can't remember if I think they did have the time. I think they did. It
should also be in the pause screen. I shouldn't have to return to title screen to see it.
I know that. Yeah, that would be on my top 5 non-pleasures of that. Number 4, a game that you really wanted to play but didn't own, going to a streaming service. So fantastic. I remember that happened on PlayStation with Sackboy. It was a game I really wanted, and I was just waiting for it to hit there. It's like a game I don't own, and now it's like, oh, it's free. I can play it for free on this streaming service. That's amazing. It instantly makes you feel like you saved $60 or something. Love those. Very pleasurable. Similarly, a game that's on your wish list that gets marked for like 80% off.
Oh, that's a good one.
Isn't it? Like,
it's a beautiful
you
thing.
feel so financially responsible.
But that's the problem. Sometimes you'll buy it even though you can't play it now. I still bought Cat Quest 2 that I want to play, but it was on sale at 80% off. I said, I'll play it eventually.
Yeah. I mean, I will keep games on wish lists for months and months and months and months because I refuse to pay full price for something. It means I don't want to play it immediately, and then you, like, one morning you get an email from Nintendo and it's like, it goes, what does it say? Yeah. A game on your wish list is on sale, and you don't even know what it is yet. You're like, oh my God, what is it?
You get excited for that. I do love the email.
Freaking love it. This one hit me last week. It is when you get near the end of the game, whether you know it or not, and you go to like go forward, and you get a dialogue, something like, "This is the final sequence of the game. Have you made your final preparations?" And you're like,
yeah.
Oh, it's fucking gonna end. Like, I'm at the end of this game.
That's a good one.
I just love that. And I could have put on this list beginning a new game, because some of the fun of finishing a game is knowing now you get to decide on a new game, and you're gonna have a lot of fun with something fresh. But the number one thing for me, this always is so pleasurable. I jizz in my pants. When you start up like an RPG or an adventure game of some sort, and you talk to a character, and the character's like, "Can you do this for me?" And then they see a little message on the screen, and it's like quest, and it's like bing, and it goes to like a quest journal, and you open up your quest journal and you see the list, and you see that one quest there, and you're like, oh yeah, I love freaking quest journals.
Or even better, when you complete it and the little message pops up.
Yeah, well, God, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom have like mastered that.
Yeah, they have.
But like old games didn't have quest journals. You had like side quests to do, and there was nowhere to look to summarize everything. Yeah. So you talk to somebody and they're like, I need a thing. But if you forget about them, you never do it for them, because you lose track of where they are. You forget about them.
My favorite was a lot of MMOs used to do that, right? Where you'd have like the progression even bar, and they'd stay on the side of your screen. So like it'd be a little bar like, oh, I'm 68% complete. Like, like of doing stuff like that. That was even better.
Right.
One that you did not mention that I love is when you're playing some type of RPG game and you level up. Because when you level up, it just opens up so many more things now that you're going to be able to do. Maybe you did a skill point and it's on my skill tree. Or like Paper Mario, do I get to choose? Do I want health? Do I want badges? Do I want the flower power? Like, it's just the level up. And, certain games do it a lot better than other games. But leveling up is always like a new thing. And I'll even say another simple pleasure is opening that treasure chest in Zelda when you know it's like a new weapon. Right? Because then you open a new weapon and you beat that dungeon. It's like, oh, I get to go explore the world with my new weapon. And I get to go blow up those caves that I remember seeing the rots in front of. And I get to go grapple hook now, where I remember I saw those grappling hook. Those are some other good ones for me when you get a new item.
Like the same thing, but like, you ever play like a Metroidvania and you see something weird, but in your mind, you don't really know what it is. But you can't get past it. And you don't even know. And then you get the item and it's like, oh, this is the depressurizer. And you can go to the blue crack and squeeze in the air and it explodes. You're like, oh, that's how I get past it. Like, out of there. Because sometimes you see things like rocks and you're like, I need some kind of bomb.
Correct. It's pretty straightforward. You're right. That's a good point. Yeah. No, that's a good one. There's always some good little ones, but I agree with you on those. I also like when you see health on enemies, when you start a new game and like you get to a boss battle or something, you see a health bar. Like, how many games you don't see health bars? And you're like, why? Like, why do you not? Every enemy in every game should have a health bar. Like, I want to know. Like, it's that Slay the Spire. There's this relic that you can get that it removes the enemy's intent to attack. So you
I
don't
hate
know
that.
what they're going to do. And
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I would sacrifice like health. I would never want that. Like, because that plays into the strategy of any type of game.
Exactly.
Like,
I
if
think it
you
gives you
know,
an extra turn in Slay the Spire,
yeah,
but it removes all the fun, because the fun of Slay the Spire is I can see what you're going to do and I can react specifically to that.
do I load up on armor or defense, or do I just
Yep.
attack? So I know I'm going to kill you this turn, and then it's irrelevant.
Right. It kills the whole fun of the game. Even though it gives you a turn, it just kills the whole fun of the game.
Yep, agreed. Good topic.
Cool. Last topic before we get to listener questions. And this is an interesting one because on October 20th, we got two of the best games of the year, Super Mario Brothers Wonder and Spider-Man 2. And both of those games I give a 10 out of 10. But there has been some criticism online that both of these games are too short. We certainly saw it with Wonder. And, if you've played Spider-Man 2, it's like, I think 100%ing it was maybe like 30 hours. The main campaign was probably 20. It just depends how fast you play, obviously.
Yeah.
But both of these games are incredibly great. But yeah, like what is going on with people saying these games are too short?
So
you have done the theory of hours to dollars.
I have gone down that road.
Why don't you talk a little bit more? You played through, you 100%ed Wonder today.
Yep.
Is it too short?
So if you just Google how long to beat Mario Wonder, it says if you just play the game to beat it, it's 9 hours, right? That's on the shorter side of video games, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sure, you did into the price thing to say this is, I guess technically it's the same price as Breath of the Wild. Let's use that. Just Tears of the Kingdom is not, but it's the same price, right? You can say it's 10% as long as Breath of the Wild was.
Mm-hmm.
And you could look at that value and say, I got fucked. I paid the same price as the game that I got 10 hours out of versus 100. Sure, you could say that. I mentioned a little bit earlier, I know it's a 2D Mario game, but I did feel a little short. Like, I feel like I 100%ed it quickly, right? Like I maybe didn't mind the length of the game, but I felt like the 100% part was very quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe I just feel like I didn't really, when I beat the game, I only played it probably for about 2 more hours after that. And I did a lot of the stuff throughout playing the game. It probably took more than 9 hours.
Right. You were doing it as you went.
Correct. But I also was a little disappointed that there was no like big unlockables. I don't know why games don't do that. And I also at the same time get it because, like, your point of view, you trying to play the game and then went back. Where if you got a new character or you got something, at least it would have been more fun to go back. And that was my concern originally, was if I just go back and play every level up till the end and I get some unlockable character or something cool and fun, there's going to be no point in playing anymore. But that's always bothers me with games like that. And I don't know. I think overall it was short. I'm not saying that from a money point of view. I don't really care from that point of view because the game was super polished and it was a good game. But yeah, typically Mario has always had 8 worlds, right? It doesn't. It has legit 6 worlds, right? I look at the last world is not a world on the map. It's there's 6 worlds, right? World 1 through 6. That's what they're labeled. They literally say that in the game. Mm-hmm. So I think it is a little bit on the shorter side. I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts? Do you feel like it felt short?
It's funny because
you 100%ed it in two weeks or less.
No,
and it's not like I played a lot. You played it in 1 week.
I had it 100%ed in by the next Friday. Yeah. I was playing it so compulsively that I really lost track of the hours. And yeah, 9 hours to beat it. That feels like a short amount of time. 9 hours is a long time in gaming time. Sure. But yeah, I agree. Like, it wasn't. But the thing is, if you made this game like 25 hours to get through just the main, I feel like I would be so, yeah, even in this game, like going through levels, they're so creative and so fun. And even this is like, oh, here's another level. All right, I really want to just get to the castle, like here's another level. Here's another level. I agree.
It's the same stuff.
The levels were so great that every time I played the level, I had a big smile on my face. And then it's like, oh, there's another level. But Yeah, like this game in no way should have been longer. It's so enjoyable. And some of the levels could take people a long time too. It just depends on your like skill. You know, the level where
Agreed.
the blocks are appearing and there's that song going on and it gets fast
Yes.
paced. Those are hard.
Yeah.
Not everyone can get past it. I do not subscribe to the theory that if you make the baseline of a game something like Tears of the Kingdom or Skyrim or any other game that you can play forever, like Slay the Spire, any kind of game where you can play 100 hours of a game.
Or even,
How about
even games like
Persona
Fortnite,
5? Yeah.
All those games too, though, that never end.
Those are like, multiplayer. I think those are fairly different, but like take Persona 5, right? Like a full playthrough of the game, not doing anything fancy or going crazy on side quests, will take you about 90 hours.
Yeah.
If you make that the baseline and then start comparing shorter games to it and say, well, you're getting less value. I feel like the baseline, making that the baseline is your mistake. The baseline should be 20 hours or something, and or having a ton of fun for that period of time.
No,
I have played
agree.
games that are 60 or 70 hours and way overdue their welcome. You know, it's not about the hours, it's about the value, the entertainment that you're having. There are a lot of games that take a lot of hours, but you're doing so much like grunt work, grinding, like that sort of thing.
It's tough though, right? I think it's, and not to sound arrogant, right? But I think me and you might be in different shoes where we buy a lot of games, right? And probably sitting, if you look back on how much we spend per year, but on video games, but not everyone can maybe do that, right, John? I think that's the point too. I think some of these people bitch about is, $60 is a lot of money for people. And I mean, if you can play the entire game in 10 hours, is it worth it for them? I mean, again, I don't think it degrades the game itself or the quality of the game. I agree. It's on par with the quality, in my eyes, of something like Tears of the Kingdom. Just a different format, right?
Yeah.
So it does get tricky, but I don't know. To your point, I do also agree with you. As much as I say it felt short, if there was 2 more worlds, would I feel like it overstayed at welcome?
Yeah.
Maybe it would. But is there ways to make it more enjoyable, right? Where if you beat that game and you unlock Donkey Kong, let's just say, I don't know, right? And now you can play levels as Donkey Kong.
I would love that.
But wouldn't that make it like, oh man, this feels like a whole new, more fun, fresh game, right? I don't know. And maybe you unlock another little special world, Donkey Kong Jungle. I don't know. Or maybe you unlock Retro World, where they remade games like the old school Airship, or some Super Mario 2 throwbacks. Like and maybe it's just a fun, enjoyable world that you don't have to do. I don't know, but it did feel like it was missing, like that extra something.
Yeah, I loved everything in there.
Me too.
I will say that right now, the thought of like, I've played games where I finish them. I mean, it's happened recently, and I immediately want to replay them, right? Baldur's Gate 3 is one of those. I don't have any inclination to replay Mario Wonder or Spider-Man 2 after doing everything, because I feel like, what am I going to do, right? I can't really play Spider-Man differently. I can't play with a different character. I can't.
Objective.
Use
That's my point. What's the point?
And Mario's the same. Like, what character can I use that it feels different? Do I play it as Peach? I mean, like, I don't know.
Use different badges, maybe. I mean, like, hey, don't use the same badges. Try these other.
Invisible Mario, the whole game.
Fuck, no, you couldn't. No,
but like, you couldn't. It's not like an achievement, or like if they had an achievement in the game, beat every level as Invisible Mario. Yeah, I might try to do that. It would be frustrating as hell, but. Maybe I would, but to do it on my own and then just keep track of it in my head and then say, look, I did it. That wouldn't be satisfying at all.
That's my point. And if you put in hard to do
if you put in a new world, like if they held back a world and just put in a new world, or like you said, they can add new characters fairly easily because the characters don't have any special skills.
They all have the same mechanics, especially in this game because of the badges, right? So how hard is it to throw in some new characters when you beat the game?
Right.
Right, and even if it's this, they want to introduce a new character into the Mario franchise from the Flower Kingdom, or do you have Prince Florian or whatever? I'm not saying make him playable, but make somebody new. That it's just make it that a new character and introduce a new. Like, when's the last time we really did a new character in the Mario universe? Like, that
It's
would have been
fine,
a
yeah.
perfect time to make a playable new character.
Imagine they made a prince. Okay, so imagine they let you play. Excuse me. Imagine they let you play, like, let's say they announce in March. You can play as, was it Prince Florian? Was that the
Yeah.
name of the
Yep.
worm? You can play as Prince Florian. Let's just say they get enterprising and he has a mechanic, like he can jump higher. I don't know, something like that. And they add a new little worm graphic on every level.
Yeah.
And so you have to go beat every level as Prince Florian.
Yep.
That would be cool. I would go and play it again.
Me too. I would, and you know what? And it would be kind of relaxing because you're not worrying about the coins or the flagpoles or the wonder seats. You're just replaying the levels that you enjoyed so much with a small new mechanic or new character.
Yeah.
But like that's my point. Like you could have do something like that and add maybe another 3 hours to it, make people happy from that point of view. Get people to continue talking about the game and playing about the game.
Yeah.
I think that's the stuff I think would have made this that little extra special. Because I feel like I did go through it super quick and it was just like, oh, okay, a little, that's it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, right now I wouldn't repeat it. Do you remember New Super Luigi U?
Yes.
That came out after, so how long was the gap? They're showing me the release date, but that came out sometime after, and you could play through all the levels as Luigi, and there was like different coins and stuff like that. I would love to see that and wonder.
You think they would ever release DLC? I mean, I don't think they would. Even
if it's free, I don't know. Just like give people more to play, keep it going in people's conscious, like adding more content to it. I would love, what I'm saying is, any stupid reason to replay this game, I would totally replay this game, but you have to give me a reason.
I need a reason. I 100%
maybe
agree.
5 years from now I play it again, sure, but like I would love to play it again next year. And same for Spider-Man 2. Like add something in the game. They did a lot of DLC missions in the first game. So there's like, I didn't play the first game until years later, but there's like 4 or 5 DLCs with special missions to do. So I think they're going to do that with Spider-Man 2, and I would pay for it.
Yeah.
I know that's happening, and that'll get me back in the game. But man, if you just added one character, like a different Spider-Man to play as, I would play through it all again too. But yeah, like I compare it to a game like Gordian Quest that I was talking about earlier, where it was so lengthened out by. So let me explain this, because it's not super like spoiler or anything, because nobody's going to freaking play this game.
No.
But like in the beginning of the game, you come to this town. They're like, oh, hey, can you help us defend the town? And you do. And they're like, thank you. And then a shop opens up and you're like, ooh, I opened up a shop. And you can see some other buildings and they're still closed down. And then like, can you do this mission and help the library? And then you do that. And then the library opens up. And I love that stuff, right? It's cool. I'm building up this hub. I have more things I can do. But then what happens in the act is they're like, we have to find these 3 stones to help us find the Rift Lord. And you have to search around. And so you go and you do this fight and this fight and this fight. And you're like, what do they want me to do? And then you do a fight and it's like, aha, we found one of the stones. And then you got to keep going. And there were so many times where I actually found the thing and didn't know I found the thing. I had to go back to the person to report it. And I kept doing these other battles, but the battles they keep coming back after a while. 8 hours, and I had fun, but it was too many. So if this campaign was like 12 hours, I would have not only enjoyed it more, but I would have replayed it with the different characters. But because the campaign is 30, from what I've heard, 30 hours.
That's brutal.
What is my motivation to go in and choose among the 10 characters and pick 3 different characters after playing for 30 hours?
That's a lot.
Keep your game shorter. I love having different characters to play the whole game as. I told you I would play Breath of the Wild all over again if they had like a Linkle or something like that. Just give me any other character to play it as. But like, these games can overstay their welcome. You shouldn't rate them based on persona or anything like that. Just play it, enjoy it, man. Like some people are almost like ashamed of how much they love a game.
No,
like, I really love that, but I only enjoyed 25 hours. Come on. You need to play more shitty games to really appreciate it.
I can give you a few names.
All right, we got some questions. We got some really good, stupid questions this week, too. I'm looking forward to this. Kuzi writes, now that the dumbest holiday is over, let's switch gears to the greatest holiday, Thanksgiving, without the G there. What are the perfect toppings for a Thanksgiving pizza? Think turkey, gravy as the sauce, etc. I mean, I think he gives away the gravy sauce for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the small little cocktail onions. You know those little guys?
What? What is that?
You ever had like a sweet little cocktail onion?
I have to look it up. I don't know.
I'll send you.
What is that a Thanksgiving thing?
I don't know. We have them at Thanksgiving. They don't do it with the turkey.
Ew.
Yeah, just type in cocktail onion.
They look like boobs. Do they not look like boobs? Look at that picture.
That one does look like boobs. I see what you're saying. No, yeah, they
I've
come
never
in like
had
the
those.
little jars. They remind me of like banana peppers come in that jar. It kind of comes in a jar like that. You know what? You need to do yourself a favor and just some cocktail onions.
Weird.
That's what I'm going to say. Throw those on the pizza. Cook them up.
So are you talking like a regular pizza with cocktail onions?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to go with, honestly, it's hard to really think of like gravy instead of like spaghetti sauce, tomato sauce. But I'm thinking like a pizza, but apple pie crumble along the top of it and like really kind of baked. And you get that sweet apple pie.
Have you ever gone to the Pizza Hut buffet?
Years ago.
So they used to bring out like this apple crisp pizza later in the buffet time. And it was to die for. It was exactly, it was like a thin crust dessert pizza. What'd you type in?
Apple crisp Pizza Hut.
Did it something come up?
I think so. Apple crisp pizza from Pizza Hut's buffet was fire back in the day.
Yeah, and it had like the little what was like the white cinnamon
frosting
drizzled all over it. Dude, I'm telling you, it's exactly what you described, but better.
Oh yeah, I just like that sweetness on top of the pizza would be good. Not pineapple, by the way, apple.
Yeah, that's it. It was delicious.
I do love Thanksgiving. I love the turkey, especially when you can get it kind of moist. Sometimes it gets a little dry. The turkey, the gravy, the mashed potatoes, that's the core for me.
Me
good
too.
Broccoli. I like good steamed
maybe some
low and slow broccoli. Yeah, it depends on the casserole, I guess.
String bean casserole, sweet potatoes with the marshmallows.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You just eat all day and watch football.
Yeah, they don't make it in Michelle's family. Little football. Even the Lions this year will actually be good. How about that?
Yeah, how about that?
I do love Thanksgiving. But it's not something you decorate for, right? Like everyone's complaining that, there's Christmas decorations already. It's like, what are we doing for Thanksgiving? Nothing. We can decorate. We're going to put our tree up next weekend. We're ready to go.
Me too, pretty much.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
I'm excited for it.
Good question, Kuz.
Halloween is not the dumbest holiday, Kuzi,
come on.
Like, he's getting dressed up like Toad and then saying Halloween sucks. Second question from Kuzi. When I get a new speaker / headphone / sound system, I always test with a particular song, Mary Jane's Last Dance. Is that the Tom Petty one? It hits all the right qualities for a good speaker test. I'm sure I'm a weirdo for doing this, but if you were to do it, what song would you use? I'll hang up and listen.
Wow.
That is Tom Petty. I didn't know that was the name of the song, actually.
Well, I mean, I don't buy new speakers that often. I'm not really sure what he's referring to, but I will say back in the day, I used to buy surround sound. And I would always not go with music, but I will say like Jurassic Park 1 was always the movie I'd put in to test out the surround sound. Just, get the dinosaurs roaring and you got to hear the people yelling in the different backgrounds.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have a go-to song for this? Something like this? Is this like a reoccurring thing that goes on?
I have a perfect answer for this.
Okay.
And this is absolutely real. I have a DVD. It is called, what is the name of it? Marilyn Manson, Guns, God, and Government World Tour. This is the greatest concert DVD that I own. I don't own a ton, but the way that was filmed, he did a series of concerts, and then they used the audio from one, but they would intersperse it with clips from other concerts, and he's in different kinds of dress up and whatever.
Mhm.
And this is his prime Marilyn Manson. He's a total like freako criminal now, but like prime Manson. And I would just crank up the volume all the way and listen to this because it is intense stuff. So when I moved into this house, I had surround sound speakers in my living room. And I didn't get to it right away, but about a week later, I was like, oh, I should test it with the Marilyn Manson DVD. And so I cranked it all the way up, and it was like, like, you know, just like nuts, right?
Yeah.
And the speakers started to fall out of the ceiling. And that's when I learned they were not installed correctly. It took me years to learn that there is a term for what they didn't do, which is called notching.
Okay.
These speakers have a little turn thing, and they're supposed to turn into the beams, and they didn't do it. I don't know who installed them or whatever, but they didn't do it. So I did that. I figured out they need to do this. So long story short, I ended up writing the company that installed them. They weren't responsive. They ended up going out of business sometime later. So I got like kind of screwed. I have since fixed them, but for the 10 years that I've lived here, every time we play a movie that's particularly loud or has a bass or something, I will look up at the speakers and hope that they don't like fall. They don't fall anymore, but every so often they can shift a little bit. And I have been wanting to get all new speakers and have them installed by a professional. It's never happened. It's just never happened. I need to figure out how to get it done. I don't trust anybody. But yes, that's it. Guns, God, and Government World Tour DVD. Crank it up to fucking 20. It is amazing. I love it.
Wow. I just sent you a link of an old school song called Running on Empty by Diana Fox. I feel like you'll like this song, John, because it's
so random.
It's so random. And it's such a good beat. It's popping. It's just so catchy. I don't know where it came from. I've listened to it for years. It's kind of like a no name. It's just fantastic. Eurodance 2002. Are you listening to it right now?
I turned it a little bit. It's like a little EDM like sort of thing, but yeah, I'll listen to it later. Extremely random. I commend you.
100% random.
Like he likes Marilyn Manson. He probably likes Diana Fox. All right.
What's next?
Speaking of random, Max Power asks, who would win a fight in 6 feet of water? A 12-foot tall polar bear or a 10-foot long great white shark?
I feel like 10 feet isn't that big of a shark, is it?
I mean, for me, it would be.
For you, it would be. What
if I was fighting it?
What is the average size of a great white? Let's see. Average size of a great white is 15 to 16 feet.
Oh, so this is a little great white shark.
Well,
so what's the average height of a polar bear?
Well, it doesn't matter. We know the size of the average size of a polar bear.
Oh, an average polar bear height. Well, that's probably when it's just. I mean, when it's like on its feet.
Polar bear.
How tall is a polar bear standing up? 12 feet. So this is a larger than normal polar bear versus a smaller than normal great white shark.
Okay. How big is a polar bear standing up?
I think great white sharks are terrifying. Like, I think they are just the most terrifying. If I had to face a great white shark in front of me, biting me, I think that would be a freaking terrifying experience beyond belief.
I think a 12-foot battle.
I think a 12-foot polar bear wins.
But how? What's the game plan of a polar bear? But seriously, like the shark's gonna bite the polar bear. Like that's its go-to move. What's the move of the polar bear?
I mean, it's 6 feet of water. It's 6 feet of water, so I mean, it's halfway up its belly. I feel like it can pretty easily just get down to the bottom and take some bites.
I don't think a polar bear can just like stand up in the water for unlimited amount of time. They're that kind of balance.
Hell yeah, it can, especially with 6 feet of water.
But in the water, I feel like the shark has the advantage. But what's the diameter of a shark that's 10 feet long? Is it going to be like not
It's going to be
6 feet?
smaller.
It's going to be smaller. It's going to be able to maneuver in that water. I'm going with the shark here. I think the shark has better movability.
All right. I got polar bear. Drew has shark.
We need a tiebreaker. Matt's power. What do you got? All right.
Then informant. Hey, guys. I've always been one to save my completed game file as some type of trophy or whatever. But do you think it would be better to just snap a picture of that accomplishment, for single-player games at least, and delete it for replay purposes? I feel like as long as that completed file is there, I'm very unlikely to replay that game in its entirety ever again.
Well, I guess, I mean, is he talking that he needs the space? Why delete it, right?
No,
or is
I'm
he
picking
just
this
saying-
up as, you beat the game, you leave your save file there, but because the save file's there, you like boot it back up, you see that you beat the game, you see, I've had this happen to me too.
It's a fair point.
You see the hours, you see all the
Yeah.
medals, like your picture with all the medals in Mario, and it like almost like demotivates you to play the game again because you feel like it's there. I did it. But if you delete it and you boot it up, you see that you haven't finished the game, and now you can create a save file and beat it. I like this because I'm big into this psychology shit.
This is more you than me.
Yes. I would say I always leave my save file, and if I want to replay a game, I always delete the save file and then go through it again. I would never like make a second save file and play, unless I wanted that first save file there as a comparison to see if
I don't think I've
later
ever deleted a save file in the history of my video game playing.
Well, what if the game only had one save file?
I would just play that save file. What do you mean?
Really? You never did replay Breath of the Wild.
No.
It's so much fun. When you play a legendary game?
Sure.
Like I recently played Baldur's Gate 3. Like this is a recent example. And I finished the game and it was like, oh, you have all these battles and stuff in your head and strategies and whatever. But all I want to do is start that game again, edit my character, come up with my traits for my character, because it really changes how you play, and then play the little spaceship part again. Because I know I can do it so much better because I didn't know how to play for the first 20 hours of this game. Yeah. And that's all I want to do is replay it. And I would be so happy to delete my save file and start from scratch. It's fun, man. You should replay more games.
I can replay games, but I don't need to delete my file. It's just how I feel.
Informant, you and I, man. You and I.
Good question.
Darth Platypus asked us, Justin mentioned a sweet canoe in his recent episode. What would you all say is a sweet canoe?
Did I take this one? Because when I think sweet canoe, what I would envision is like you and your wife having sex in a hot tub, take your wiener, which would be the canoe, and you slide it between her tits in the hot tub, like half in the water, half not in the water. Like if I'd said I sweet canoed my wife last night, that's what I think would be happening.
I feel like it would be anal while Diana Fox was playing.
I'd take that as well. But yeah, I think the canoe is, the penis is like top of the water canoe.
Whoa. You don't call it a penis. That's not how you refer to it in sex. The penis?
Okay, well, your dick then
exactly
would be the canoe.
Right. Amy, would you like my penis inside of you?
Hey, I'm sure somebody's into that.
True. Yeah.
That's my description. I mean, I don't know if you have something different, but that's what if someone just said to me on the street, not mentioning food or anything, like, what is a sweet canoe? I would think that is like a sex term and to what I described.
Yeah, I kind of like your new version of it. If I heard sweet canoe, we're not talking pizza, right? We're talking about like what would be
if you just someone in the street said, "Hey, John, what do you think if I say the word or the phrase sweet canoe? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?"
I would say it's a canoe that looks freaking sweet.
Sure,
freaking
mine
sweet
went
canoe
to a sex position / action, but sure.
Maybe it's just sex in a canoe, honestly.
Sure. Could work too.
Nothing else comes to mind. We actually did answer this question. I know Justin is from Alberta, and I did a search of like Alberta pizza sweet canoe, and I actually was able to find out what's on this. So if you haven't seen this on the Ask Drew and John channel, a sweet canoe pizza is extra spicy tomato sauce, pepperoni, ham, teriyaki steak, bacon, and cheddar.
That's just too much going on there.
I feel like the teriyaki,
that throws it off.
Is scary, but that's also probably part of the sweet. I'd be game to try.
I mean, I'm game to try anything.
Did you see the other pizza that was below it? It's called Breaking My Meatballs. 2 guys, spicy sauce, sausage, meatballs, banana peppers, Monterey Jack and cheddar, fresh basil, fresh Parmesan, and a honey swirl.
That sounds pretty good.
Try some breaking. If I ever meet Justin, if I ever go head up to Justin, I want to get a breaking my meatballs.
I'll break your meatballs.
Break my meatballs.
All right, last question. What we got? Falling asleep here.
Last question from Darth Platypus. The dads talked about the future of Mario Kart. What would you guys do for the next Mario Kart?
I think the simple answer here is to mimic some type of Diddy Kong racing concept and get more than just actual karts.
How so? What do you mean?
Introduce watercrafts of some sort, airplanes, or more than just kart racing on a track.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking. And some type of little overworld. Not like an open world thing. I think that's too much. But Diddy Kong had like a little overworld, right? That you kind of drove to. I don't know.
There was like a campaign. I didn't play it, but there's like a campaign
mode. I think that would be cool. But again, I don't know. You play the campaign mode, then it's over. So,
well, you have the campaign mode, and then you have the online.
Yes, unlockables. No one does unlockables anymore. They just DLC shit at you. I want unlockables. Talk about your sweet,
sweet canoe.
Your sweet canoe. What was the word you used for the question up above? Your simple pleasures.
Simple pleasures.
My simplest pleasure is unlockables.
Yeah,
that's just what I want.
Well, the original Mario Kart 8 had that, and then when they put it on the Switch, they unlocked everything because they figured people were going to bitch and complain that they had to unlock the thing that they did. I think they should just let you unlock it again. That was fun the first time.
It makes you play the game more.
Yeah. I want to do it. Remember, what's like great about Smash is when you start playing and there's like 9 characters, and then you just fucking unlock like 50 characters.
It's a good example.
That is fun. Yeah, I don't think they'll do it. I would love to see them just change the whole franchise from Mario Kart to Nintendo Kart.
Yeah.
And then just have all of their characters in it. I mean, they already kind of like, it's Mario Kart, but it's like, oh, but Link is in it.
Mm-hmm.
And Animal Crossing's in it and whatever. They're already doing it. Just, either call it Nintendo Kart or just call it Mario Kart, but Samus can be in it. And, Bayonetta can be in it. And just go all out.
Agreed.
Go whole hog. I'd like to see that. I do want to see it get rebooted. Mario Kart 8 was like perfection. I want to see Mario Kart 9 just have a different style. Did you ever play the version in the arcade? It looks different.
Yes.
Give me a whole new look to it.
I'm on board with this because most of the time I'm like, sometimes I just want a Mario game. I just want a Zelda game. But for Mario Kart, I think I do want something different.
Mm-hmm.
It's time. Give us something different.
I know they're nervous about it. It sells really well, but and I would love to see the HD Rumble and stuff be used in a way where it feels like, if you were in a real go-kart, like you went to an amusement park or a play place, and like you had a real like gas-powered cart, it has like a rumble to it.
Yeah, just imagine if you were a girl with tits. It'd just be like.
I would love to like feel that sort of feeling like I'm in a real cart.
Yeah.
I would like to see that. And I would love to see, instead of just a glider, what is it? Wheels, the cart, and the glider. I'd like to see you be able to like interchange more parts.
Colors and
just have some different things like shock struts, kind of like how what was that racing game? Oh God, what was that Well, RC Pro-Am kind of had it a little bit, but there was another racing game where you got all these different parts and you can upgrade all the various parts. Like, I would love to see that.
Maybe, John, dare I say, they just follow the Disney Speedstorm method.
Ugh.
By the way, still playing that. Didn't put it on my list, but still going strong.
Too much Disney lately.
I know, huh?
But I would love to see something different. Not that I don't think Mario Kart 8 is like perfection, but like because it is, we just need something different now.
You can't just come out with the same thing with more characters and more tracks. You just can't. You got to change it up at this point. You've done 96 tracks. Like, what else is there to do?
Yep.
All right, John, that's going to wrap it up. What do we have coming up the next couple of weeks?
We got a lot coming up on November 7th. Salt and Sacrifice is coming out. This is the sequel to Salt and Sanctuary, if you're into 2D Souls-like games. Catan Console Edition, November 9th. I might get this. I probably won't, but I've been trying to get my kids to play Catan with me, and they won't. And I've been telling them now I can play against the computer and actually enjoy Catan.
Yeah.
So I'll probably put it on my wish list and buy it when it's really cheap someday.
Nice.
Hogwarts Legacy dares to step onto Switch. They have shown no footage of this thing. It comes out November 14th. I got a feeling this is going to be frightening.
Delayed.
They would be showing it by now.
Maybe it's delayed.
It's not going to get delayed. It's coming out November 14th.
I'm getting it, by the way. But
I won't really?
Play it. I'm going to get it for my wife.
Okay.
If she says she enjoyed it, I'll play it.
All right. Dredge, which has been a very popular indie game that I accidentally bought a couple days ago. I accidentally bought it on PlayStation, made a mistake, accidentally bought it. Dumb story. Don't want to get into it. But Dredge, the Pale Reach is the first paid expansion of it. That comes out November 16th.
Right there. The Pale Reach.
The Pale Reach. Flashback 2, sequel of a game from like 25, 30 years ago, November 16th. Bluey, the video game. Does that come into Drew's home?
Yes, it is.
Bingo!
This could be a Christmas gift, though. Haven't decided yet.
Possible, Cody.
I already bought 2 games that haven't even opened yet because my wife took them from me and put them into the Christmas list. Sonic Superstars. Remember that one? Sonic Superstars.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, she said that was forever. And then I bought it was like on clearance once, a game for Zoe, which Rainbow High or something. She likes.
She's into that already.
She's into that, so she'll probably play that.
Nice. Well, Bluey the video game comes out November 17th on a big day because we're also getting Persona 5 Tactica, a game I'm still very excited for. Also comes out November 17th. And then Super Mario RPG, the remake. Super excited for this game. Never played the original. Can't wait to finally play this game. Also November 17th. So. Busy week.
Busy week indeed. I'm excited.
Oof. All right.
That's it. That's a show.
That's a show.
Long one. Congrats to all the winners. Monthly Mayhems. Make sure you're continuing to submit for Mario. That's it.
All right.
Peace.
Get your cart. Peace. Later. The Dads After Dark show is part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. You can subscribe to us anywhere podcasts are available. If you're listening to Apple or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review. It helps us promote our show, and we'd be grateful to hear your feedback. Check us out on Threads and Instagram at NDadsAfterDark. Send us a question to dadsafterdarkshow@gmail.com, and we'll read it on the show. Or if you want to hear yourself on the show, leave us a voicemail. See the episode description for a link to do that. Be sure to join us on Discord and our Dads After Dark channels. That's where we chat. You can participate in our monthly Mayhem contests, plus other activities such as Chubbies and so on. You can get access by joining the Nintendo Dads Patreon or by subscribing to their Twitch channel. A big thank you to Family Jewels for the show's music. Check out their YouTube to hear other awesome Nintendo cover tunes.